Hello everyone, I am BowserJrXD. Welcome to the Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, race 5 of 36 for the NASCAR Cup Series in 2026. Now our first 1.5 miler of the season, I think there was 8 or 9 of them on the schedule, with the return of Chicagoland and the addition of the Fall Oval Charlotte race back. But I'm assuming everyone is looking forward to that because intermediates have consistently been the best racing on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule.
Maneuver around better than anybody up through the
field.
We've
had 2 different winners to start the season.
And
Can we make it 3?
Well, we know Penske Racing, they can grind it out and figure out how to get decent finishes. But I believe this is the Ford's biggest struggle. This is a racetrack where their front end doesn't turn very good. They're not as good in traffic as the other 2 makes. So they're going to have to be spectacular in order to keep up with the Chevrolet and the Toyota.
Watch for drivers coming up from the back of the pack. Joey Logano starting deep. The Spire drivers had trouble in qualifying, but they showed speed in practice. So could be an interesting show. This track is so different. Turns 3 and 4 very smooth. Turns 1 and 2 though, whoa, what a ride.
You've got to be comfortable because the bumps are so bad in
1 and 2.
So you've got to keep that car to where it'll ride the bumps good, still turn, but it has to be real comfortable.
And remember that wind, quite a bit windier today than it was yesterday.
As well as
the leader of a band that was formed in 1993 in Bakersfield is about to give the command.
Las Vegas Motor Speedway, here to say the most famous words in motorsports. Please welcome Korn frontman and global rock icon who will be headlining Sick New World on April 25th in Las Vegas, Jonathan Davis.
Drivers, are you ready? Then start your engine!
Commands given. 36 cars ready to roll off the grid. Here is today's starting. Oh, you gotta be fucking. Wait. I clicked the wrong link. Here is today's starting lineup. I need to have the music ready at all times, just so I swear. Starting 36. Driving the number 10. Kippers in RV. You save Chevrolet. I need to get the rest of my thing up. Let's start that over, because I need to have like 2 spreadsheets up because I didn't get all my information down. All right, let's do it. Try again. Starting 36, driving the number 10, campers in RV, you save Chevrolet. For Colleague Racing, 34 years old from Welcome, North Carolina, Ty Dillon. Starting 35th, driving the number 41, HaasTooling.com Chevrolet for Haas Factory Team. 28 years old. I think, yeah, from Ladera Ranch, California, Cole Guster. Starting 34th, driving the number 4, Curate Ford for Front Row Motorsports. 27 years old from Las Vegas, Nevada, Noah Gregson. Starting 33rd, driving the number 51, Yigo Chevrolet for Rick Ware Racing. 30 years old from Greensboro, North Carolina, Cody Ware. Starting 32nd, driving the number 21, Motorcraft, Quick Lane Foreign for the Wood Brothers. 35 years old from Hendersonville, Tennessee, Josh Berry. Starting 31st, driving the number 2, Discount Tire Ford for Team Penske. 27 years old from Mooresville, North Carolina, Austin Cindric. Starting 30th, driving the number 71, Workforce Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. 41 years old from Glendale, Arizona, Michael McDowell. Starting 29th, driving the number 16, You Save Chevrolet for Colleague Racing. 44 years old from Los Gatos, California, AJ Allmendinger. Starting 28th, driving the number 6, Trimble Ford for Rouse Fenway, Keselowski Racing. 42 years old from Rochester Hills, Michigan, Brad Keselowski. Starting 27th, driving the number 34, Loves Travel Top Ford for Front Row Motorsports. 25 years old from Charles Ford, North Carolina, Todd Gilliland. Starting 26th, driving the number 42, Tri-State Vacuum and Rental Toyota for Legacy Motor Club. 28 years old from Mooresville, North Carolina, John Hunter Nemechek. Starting 25th, driving the number 88, Jockey 150th Anniversary Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. 19 years old from Mooresville, North Carolina, Connor Zillis, the only rookie in the field. Starting 24th, driving the number 8, Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. 40 years old from Las Vegas, Nevada, Kyle Busch. Starting 23rd, driving the number 47, NOS Energy Chevrolet for Kayak Motorsports. 38 years old from Olive Branch, Mississippi, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Starting 22nd, driving the number 48, Ally Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. 38 years old from Riverton, Illinois, Justin Allgaier. Starting 21st, driving the number 22, Pennzoil Ultra Premium Ford for Team Penske. 35 years old from Middletown, Connecticut, Joey Logano. Starting 20th, driving the number 35, free nicotine, FRE nicotine pouches Toyota for 2311 Racing. 27 years old from Las Vegas, Nevada, Riley Herbst. Starting 19th, driving the number 77, Chili's Ride the Dente Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. 23 years old from Portage, Michigan, Carson Hocevar. Starting 18th, driving the number 19, Bass Pro Shops Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 31 years old from Mitchell, Indiana, Chase Briscoe. Starting 17th, driving the number 1, Kubota Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. 33 years old from Alba, Florida, Ross Chastain. Starting 16th, driving the number 97, Superfile Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. 36 years old from Auckland, New Zealand, Shane Van Gisbergen. Starting 15th, driving the number 9, Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. 30 years old from Dawsonville, Georgia, Chase Elliott. Starting 14th, driving the number 43, Dollar Tree Toyota for Legacy Motor Club. 29 years old from Byron, Michigan, Eric Jones. Starting 13th, driving the number 7, Freeway Insurance Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. 34 years old from Monterrey, Mexico, Daniel Suarez. Starting 12th, driving the number 38, Aaron's Rent to Own Ford for Front Row Motorsports. 26 years old from Huntington Beach, California, Zane Smith. Starting 11th, driving the number 3, Brez Tree Chevrolet for Richard Racing. 35 years old from Welcome, North Carolina, Austin Dillon. And it's time for your top 10. Starting 10th, driving the number 17 is Smith's Farm Rich Ford for Rouse Fenway Keselowski Racing. 33 years old from Prosper, Texas, Chris Busher. Starting 9th, driving the number 24, Raptor Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. 28 years old from Charlotte, North Carolina, William Byron. Starting 8th, driving the number 60, Bodyguard Ford for Rouse Fenway Keselowski Racing. 35 years old from Berlin, Connecticut, Ryan Priest. Starting 7th, driving the number 45, Jordan Brand Toyota for 2311 Racing. 30 years old from Corning, California, Tyler Reddick. Starting 6th, driving the number 12, Menards Pennzoil Ford for Team Penske. 32 years old from High Point, North Carolina, Ryan Blaney. Starting 5th, driving the number 5, HendrickCars.com Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. 33 years old from Elk Grove, California, Kyle Larson. Starting 4th, driving the number 23, Xfinity Toyota for 2311 Racing. 32 years old from Mobile, Alabama, Bubba Wallace. Starting 3rd, driving the number 54, Monster Energy Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 23 years old from Charlotte, North Carolina, Ty Gibbs. Starting on the outside pole, driving the number 11, Yahoo Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 45 years old from Chesterfield, Virginia, Denny Hamlin. And on the pole, driving the number 20, Interstate Batteries Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, with a pole time of 28.853 seconds and an average speed of 187.156 miles per hour. 31 years old from Norman, Oklahoma, Christopher Bell. That is the starting lineup for today's Pennzoil 400. Alrighty, and let's get to the action. We're going over Arrow, I think.
Fairly smooth, but we'll talk about it all day. We've talked about it all weekend. The bumps in 1 and 2 is where the challenge is.
And you're spot on, Larry, and that's the problematic situation and why we feel that these Toyotas are on the front row the way they are, because they're not moving through those bumps. Everybody else has been bouncing, and when that thing comes up, it's no downforce, just like you showed.
Unlike yesterday in qualifying, it is a windy day here north of Las Vegas. 15 to 25 miles per hour. That looks like about 20 to 25. That flag out straight.
And that becomes really difficult when the wind blows that way, because of when you come off of turn 4, it's already sketchy, but the grandstands block that wind and the car becomes unstable.
Today's race, 267 laps. Stages of 80, 85, and 102 laps. The fuel window, 60 to 64. What do the drivers think about racing Las Vegas?
I think Las Vegas is a really good track for cup cars. You can move all around. You can run different lanes, get a little bit of a draft down the straightaways.
1 and 2 is really bumpy, which gives a lot of character for us. 3 and 4 always seems to widen out.
You've got 2 corners that are very different from each other, and you can run all the way from the white line on the bottom to the wall on both sides. So it's turned into one of the best intermediate NASCAR tracks that we've got. Along with the atmosphere of the Neon Garage and the city lights not too far away, it's one of the best venues we go to.
Thoughts of a couple of past winners about racing Las Vegas?
It is a great track from a driver's perspective, because you have options from the white line all the way to the wall. And in these cars, you can't follow directly behind somebody, so you've got to be able to be versatile and move around that racetrack.
Oh, how quick does it happen, old buddy?
It's going to happen right off the bat. We're going to be 3 wide, probably going into turn 1, and pure craziness, but you got to make the hay while you can.
And I think that's just so important here. You have to be able to have that balance. While everybody's bunched up is the best opportunity to pounce on 3, 4, 5 games, you know, spot-wise. They'll be ready.
I like Larry's explanation. That helped explain why Tyler Reddick was able to win Atlanta minus a front fender, with most of that downforce coming from underneath.
That's a great point.
People don't realize how much downforce is created underneath this car. And it's, until you see those numbers, you don't realize 75% of the total downforce is built right underneath of them with that diffuser on the back of Reddick right there you saw.
All right, cars that went to the back include Cindric and Dylan Allmendinger and Byron for inspection issues. Coming to turn 4, and the Toyota Camry XSE leaves the field, driven by
is going to pull off.
Honorary pace car driver, WWE superstar Tiffany Stratton.
All right, 267 laps, I think, around the 1.4. Wait, let's see. 267 laps around the 1.5 mile tri-oval. Ending it in the west today. We're green at Las Vegas. Bell moves right to the high side. Right ahead of Denny Hamlin. And then he goes back down in front of Ty Gibbs. 2 wide behind the leader. Chris Briscoe, I noticed in the back, he's going right to the high side. That's why he was so good yesterday in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race.
Those cars that felt like they're really good are being really aggressive at the start, but that's what you have to do. These positions are not made up easily.
Oh! SVG saves it! That car was 60 degrees the wrong direction. How did he save that? Oh my God.
Bell and Hamlin, the front row starters, fight for the lead off 2.
That was nuts. Anyway, now Denny Hamlin to the inside of Bell as they head down the backstretch.
Yeah, right now these cars are going to be really close to wide open. Just a lot of partial throttle through the corners, and that's the tricky end right there. You see Bell and Hamlin side by side, and that's going to be the tricky end of the racetrack today because of the wind and the direction that it is blowing. So everybody's still filling their cars out, but you've got to be hammered
almost
down
clear
right
on the
now
inside as
as
they enter lap 3.
Right now,
Bell getting the run back on the high
does not want
side.
to give up this lead because you want to try to be in control of this race.
Gibbs getting closer behind them. Toyota maintaining their 1, 2, 3, 4.
There.
Yeah, and Hamlin's now clear of Bell.
Denny Hamlin, right where he ended up last fall here in Vegas.
Hamlin is the defending winner at Las Vegas. Meanwhile, Larson, the defending spring race winner, back in 5th right now. We're going to show this Amazing
squeeze. He's
save by
pushing up a little bit on the exit, just like Kevin was talking
came up.
about, and he just barely clips Briscoe on the bottom.
Saved
I think it saved him. Wow. Clean them shorts up. Let's go.
Eric Jones was coming down the racetrack. Ben Gisbergen started 16th. He recovers, losing only 6 positions.
And that's like a magnet right there. When that car starts to take off
SVG
tight like that, it pulls you up into that car on the outside of you. The only thing that's going to stop it from keeping going up into the wall is another car in between you and the wall. But got pretty lucky on that one. A lot of skill, a little luck right there.
Well, he's been making his own luck this year. A couple of times he has spun his car, but come back to finish right up toward the top 10.
Yeah, it's been great to see the progress that Shane has made on these ovals. So definitely, that'll definitely get your heart rate up to start off the race. As you see Austin Dillon down on the apron under Zane Smith.
That was when he was in. No, he still is 11th. I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say. My God.
We saw in practice yesterday a lot of the really fast cars, most of the Toyotas, were able to run the bottom of that racetrack. We've seen the middle groove and the bottom groove is where Denny Hamlin was able to take the lead. So on board with the breasttree camera right here with Austin Dillon. You hear him all the way out to the throttle. Want to keep that left front tire on that line as long as possible to help pull you around that corner, especially when you're in traffic like this.
Dillon in 13th.
And what'll happen right here is, as we run these first 10 laps, everybody's car is going to drive pretty good. And then after that, that's when that right rear tire, all the tires are going to wear, but that right rear tire is going to start to wear, and you're going to see people start to move around the racetrack and see who has their car dialed in with the fall off as low as possible. But
Hocevar teammates, Suarez and Hocevar, they're in the top 20. Here comes Logano trying to make a run to the inside.
The speed they had shown earlier this season.
Passes both of them in the Ultra, in the Pennzoil Ultra Premium Ford.
And we're going to move forward. Right now, he's in 18th.
Yeah, that was kind, Mike, the way you said it. He was pretty blunt about his description of the cars.
Sorry, that's Riley Hurst. I thought it was a Wendy's
car. Go by both of those Spire cars right there.
Kyle Larson closing on Ty Gibbs.
This is for third position. He's running the middle of the track. Gibbs trying to diamond the corner.
The
as they head down the backstretch now on lap number 9.
At this racetrack, he was able to win yesterday, but the wider this racetrack gets, the more it plays into Kyle Larson's hand.
And right behind him as well, I'm watching the battle behind him.
Reddick is past
who else does that
Bubba Wallace
line?
for
Right there,
fifth.
Tyler Reddick passes his teammate Bubba Wallace
Points
on
leader
the outside.
by a significant margin still.
And they're creative. Reddick, Larson, Bell, they're really creative, and usually the first ones to search on the racetrack to be able to put their car in a position that nobody else's is in, and can do things with the race car up next to the wall and on the entry that a lot of the guys in the field can't do. So they're very versatile.
Here's the Xfinity cam on board Bubba, who started 4th, currently 6th, right behind his teammate.
Laps in here, 10 laps in.
Get to hear a lot of that engine noise, and it's such a mellifluous sound around this racetrack to
you
be
don't even
able
know
to,
what that is.
to hear
the bumps from the way that the camera is shaking in 1 and 2.
Yeah,
that's too big a word for a race car
one
driver.
that Clint can't say.
Oh, you struggle with it. That's wrote down right in front of you with the syllables.
All right. Let me clean this up here. Those 4 drivers I mentioned did not go to the back, did not go to the rear for the start. They lost their pit selection and their car chief. That being Cindric, Ty Dillon, Allmendinger, and Byron. Denny Hamlin has led 9 of 11 laps in Las Vegas.
Kids.
All right, so you got the memo. Looking good.
Ryan, there seemed to be a lot of tension in the turns. What happened?
Yeah, well, when it gets really hot and you're cool...
Every turn matters.
But yeah, I mean...
Larson has lost about half a second on Gibbs. Justin Allgaier in SVG. SVG has slipped back to 27th. I wonder if he had another problem. Also, Allgaier started in 22nd. He's back in that position. So, see if he can get his way by the Kiwi. Allgaier's going to get 26th here. As SVG continues to fall back. Chase Briscoe, Austin Dillon battling, I think, for the 14th spot as Briscoe tries to continue his march forward. See if he can get as good a finish as yesterday. I believe he finished second in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race. So this is a battle for 13th position. I was mistaken. But the 3 and the 19 still duking it out. Gibbs staying with Hamlin. Bell staying with Hamlin. And Larson is falling back. And Reddick is catching up to the 5. To the inside goes the number 45 Toyota. And we once again have 4 Toyotas in the top 4 spots. Riley Herbst and Austin Cindric, the battle for 21st. Battle of mid or subpar third team drivers right there.
"17 laps complete. Denny Hamlin leading Christopher Bell by half a second. Let's have a look at our Xfinity fastest laps of the race. We expect some fall off, so these should hold up. 3 Toyotas, a Chevy Toyota. Denny Hamlin, top of the board. 183.3 miles per hour.
See the rubber
now, fifth on that board and running 6th is Bubba Wallace. Here's Regan.
Well, Mike, it's been a great start to the season for Bubba Wallace, averaging in just inside a 9th place finish. This team has got a ton of confidence. I talked to crew chief Charles Knight this morning, and he said it's been building since last year at Indy. As of right now, Bubba back a couple spots from where he started, but calmly told the team we're going to have to wake the front of the race car up just a little bit if we're going to want to be good today. Jamie?
And just ahead of Wallace is Kyle Larson. I talked to his crew chief Cliff Daniels this morning, and he talked about this being the first big test for this new Chevrolet body. He said so far it's done everything that we hoped to. It's just a matter of getting the balance right. He said yesterday in practice we went out on track too loose. So trying to turn those knobs and figure out what this new car needs. Right now, Kyle Larson falling off a bit too quick. They need a little bit of an adjustment for this first stop coming up.
Thanks, Jamie. Chevrolet had their annual dealer meetings this week in Vegas, continuing into next week. And NASCAR was part of the Bowtie brand's presentation. And dealers were shown a picture of what they're going to race in the next couple of years in NASCAR and what will be in the showrooms. We just get to tease you about it. The official release will come out sometime later. But you'll be pleased.
It's such a hard balance to get these cars right. You put it all on paper and in CFD and in the wind tunnel, and you're like, man, this car makes more downforce, it makes less drag, it does all these things, and then you get it on the racetrack and you have to drive it.
Catching up to Reddick again.
They're so technical in the things that you have to do with everything.
Logano
so
and Ross. Right. Logano's been working his way through the field. This is for 15th.
As I was watching him, get into turn 3. Keep an eye on that.
Ross Chastain +2, about to maybe lose one of those. +2 from where he started.
Logano takes 15.
Back there with Hocevar. This battle happening about 15 seconds off of the lead.
How these two guys get together. That's just kind of how it works. Crash somebody one week, you come back the next week, and you race around them all day.
Have to ride in the truck together.
That's right.
In the intros.
Opposites attract, right?
There's a couple times I wanted to be in a fist fight in the bed of a truck going around to driver intros the next week.
Well, on this one, Logano apologized on the radio after he got into Ross Chastain. They had a phone call this week, sorted it out. Ross was asked about it here at the track. He says, nope. He says, Joey and I are good. We worked it out.
Yeah, I mean, stuff's going to happen, and that's the thing. Look, I've seen Logano as we ride on board with this Hunt Brothers Pizza camera. It's so hard to not just say, the heck with him. I'm not calling him. He raced me hard. It's hard to pick up the phone and fix those problems, but it makes your year a lot easier when you can get to the point in your career where you can pick up the phone and people know that you're not making that mistake all the time.
Denny Hamlin has led more laps today than in the 4 previous races combined.
From the moment you took your first breath, you had something to prove. And boy, did you ever. Roads.
All right, field's getting pretty spread out now. Chastain and Hocevar battling. This is now for a 16th position. Ross is trying to defend. His car does not look particularly strong at this point in the run. Hocevar to the inside. We see Logano now ripping the high lane. We can see the track now starting to widen out, but also the fact that Hocevar and Chastain are catching back up to Logano. So maybe Logano's speed is... And there goes Reddick Larson to the inside of Reddick. This is for 4th place, and Larson's got it.
Welcome back to the Pennzoil 400, presented by Jiffy Lube on FS1. Denny Hamlin continues to lead, 0.3 of a second up on Christopher
Bell. 5 cars duking it out.
Place
Gregson, Stenhouse, Gilliland, Nemechek, and Berry
on the racetrack. Well, our area coverage brought to you by Goodyear, tried, tested, and proven legendary. There are the leaders.
No, those are not the leaders.
And now you see them all over the racetrack, and this is when you start to see whose cars are long-run cars, and this is going to be. So
it's like,
I mean, around lap 30 is where you're going to want to start looking at pitting.
They're
and
not
once
the
that
leaders.
first guy pits, then it forces everybody's hands. So might see some guys pit a little bit early, but you want to split this up right in the middle.
Is starting to close the gap.
Larry?
Yeah, again, the fuel window is 60 to 64 laps. Don't think that's a factor right now. First stage is 80 laps. Kevin, to your point, split it, but I think what we're going to see with this tire package, we're closing in on 2 seconds of fall off. I think you'll start to see them come early. We saw them come last year as early as lap 31, lap 32. You get in there a little early to get advantage of those fresh tires.
Now check that graphic lower right. 4 of those 5 are Fords. To your point at the top of the race, didn't qualify well, didn't have a lot of speed, but moving up. All right, pit stops have begun.
Who's pit? Reddick pits.
Tyler Reddick getting service. And with him, Briscoe.
And Briscoe.
And more. Austin Cindric is in. Justin Allgaier. Larson.
Yeah, and you're going to see a lot of these guys that are pitting early now. A lot of it depends on who you're racing around.
Hamlin
so the longer you can wait, if you're not worried about getting past it will be beneficial to have fresher tires. Jamie?
Christopher Bell's out there with him.
Kyle Larson pulling into his pit box had fallen off just a bit, then came back and fought as those tires wore out. It'll be a Ford tire stop here. You see that adjustment right there that we talked about was coming for Kyle Larson as they work on the left side. Solid stop.
All the Hendrick cars stopped. Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch in the pit lane, Eric Jones, Noah Gregson, Josh Berry, last year's winner.
I take the overcut,
Austin Dillon, and here are the leaders. Hamlin,
only a lap later.
Gibbs, Bubba Wallace.
So the 20 car stayed out, but he got held up by the 11 car coming down the pit road. Obviously, the 45 car, Reddick, was the first one on pit road. Keep an eye on that track map up in the top left.
Yeah, and what's going to happen, the 54 pitted and the 11 pitted. So what's going to happen right here, not only did he give up time getting to pit road, but he's also going to give up a couple seconds each lap that he stays out, but he's on pit road.
See how Larson makes up any positions here. The 5's coming down.
Bell's in
finish
along
line.
with Ryan
Hamlin's in the
second place car.
turn 1.
As we cycle through stops here at lap 36.
Hamlin, okay, made up a gap a bit.
Yeah, you see Kyle Larson right there at the top of your screen, just behind.
And you see Reddick behind him, but run down the 11 made a lot of ground up on the 11
Meanwhile,
car.
Byron. Wait,
but that's okay. You want to give up as much of that gap as possible.
Byron passes Blaney. They were on the same lap. I think they both pit. So that's the position made up for the 24.
Let's keep an eye on that. See, there's the 11.
Hamlin roars by Christopher Bell. So does Gibbs. So does Larson.
Lap and getting slowed up at the 11 pitting.
Briscoe and
Bubba Wallace is going to get by Bell too. Maybe Reddick as well. So Bell will lose 4 positions in that pit cycle.
One lap longer and having to check up for Denny Hamlin. So that's what you don't want to happen.
Tire fall off about 1.5 seconds a lap through this run.
I think the 5 car won this battle.
So undercut has to be the way.
And this is what I was talking about with the 20 car having to check up because the leader, Denny Hamlin, pitted in front of him. You see how much he had to move up to avoid him. Was already going too fast, couldn't pit that time by. And then the extra lap on old tires that Kevin talked about.
19,
obviously let the 5 car get around him.
Yeah, and this pit road is really hard. As you listen to Mike have those speeding penalties right there. This pit road is super difficult, but getting onto pit road is so far around the corner. And if you're running the bottom of the racetrack, you want that left front tire right on the line. So sometimes you can time that wrong and have to check up like Bell did.
Now, the first 10 drivers have not yet pitted, beginning with Joey Logano and down through Cody Ware. Regan?
Well, Mike, you see the 22 of Joe Logano still on track right now. When I spoke to crew chief Paul Wolf this morning, lacked a little bit of confidence. It looks like hand might be out the window. They may be getting ready to come down pit road right now, but they lacked a little confidence in the car after yesterday. So far, though, Joey said the car has been really good. I think what they're trying to do here is split it right down the middle in terms of the run as we see him hit pit road.
Who else is going to pit with him?
So Logano to pit road at lap 39 of this 80-lap first
Stenhouse
stage.
and Zilich have also pit. Anyone from
Stenhouse also on pit
Suarez
road along with Connor Zilich and Daniel Suarez.
Yeah, we talked about Logano's car yesterday. Definitely not where he wanted to be. Seems like they've made it better today, which they usually do, Clint. They typically make their cars better.
Yet to pit.
Champions do.
And he's going to lose some positions with this cycle staying out on the racetrack, but your hope is that you can gain them back with the use of the fresh tires.
Carson Hocevar surrenders the lead to come in.
So does Ross Chastain.
And Brad Keselowski will cycle to the front.
McDowell, and Custer.
So down to McDowell and Custer, the only cars that had not pitted. So Brad Keselowski, he is the leader, and he's today's driver profile, sponsored by Trimble. Driver number 6 still recuperating from that leg injury suffered in the off season.
And there he is on pit road.
Here's Brad
leaves
pit
2.
road. 3 Las Vegas Cup wins for Brad. Second among active drivers. And these mile-and-a-half tracks have produced 14 career wins, more for Brad than any other track configuration in NASCAR.
Well, they always get better on race day, but the thing that this 6 car has to figure out, they have to qualify better. Otherwise, they're not going to store any stage points, and they're not going to win. So, you know, I think that Brad definitely knows how to get it done, but they got to get better on Saturday to put themselves up in the front of the pack and not have to battle that uphill.
Hamlin back up
uphill
front. Ty Gibbs closing in.
He started 28th. His teammates started 10th and 12th. So we cycle through stops, which will bring Denny Hamlin back to the front. And Ty Gibbs.
Better say it quick. How about Ty Gibbs, Kevin?
Yeah, and right now that's going to put them in a difficult spot, trying to get by that 47 car of Stenhouse right there. Any traffic up in the front, and for Gibbs it makes it worse because Denny's able to go the opposite way of the 47 car, and then Ty's just got to ride behind both of them.
Waiting for Cole Custer and Mr. Long Run Strategy Michael McDowell to make their pit stops. Denny Hamlin back out front.
Mark, Keith, what you doing?
It's pretty deep. Yeah, looks like sanitation line or
probably electric.
Just had a question about the wiring inside there.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto with us.
We'll be back, fellas. We won't.
Chevy trucks are as capable and dependable as the Chevy people who drive them. You probably know one. Your sister. Your buddy. The ones who always show up. They all have that little extra something.
Bubba Wallace trying to chase down Bell. He's about 4/10 in front of him. Well, sort of half a second now. Hamlin finally getting around Stenhouse as Gibbs keeping tabs with him. Gibbs not able to get by Stenhouse as quickly, and Larson's closing in now on Gibbs. Briscoe, Allgaier spit again. All right, both cars got past Stenhouse.
It'll be an electric atmosphere in Miami as Team USA takes on the Dominican Republic in the semifinal showdown. It's the World Baseball Classic coming up next on FS1. Here in Las Vegas, Denny Hamlin has now opened up almost a 1-second lead on Ty Gibbs. Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace, top 5 very much like it was. Tyler Reddick right behind them. Larson, Chevy, and 5 Toyotas front of the field. The first Ford is Blaney in 8th.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think that Ty Gibbs was right on the back bumper of this 11 car, Denny Hamlin, and they caught that traffic, and a couple decisions were made of how they went through the traffic, and now Kyle Larson's all over the back bumper of the 54 with a whole bunch of lap traffic in front of him still.
I think what you're trying to say is experience was paying off in that traffic a lot of times.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is just the timing of how you position it and get through there correctly.
In fact, he's got the lead.
Yeah.
Well, Christopher Bell came in here probably not being able to see a level ground from the hole that he was in, and things have not gotten better with that pass-through penalty for speeding coming on to pit road.
Briscoe's in 33rd now. In the 48th lap.
Excuse me.
Yeah, Briscoe here.
Yes, thank you.
Briscoe got caught speeding on pit road, and Kevin, we've covered this. Man, we're trying to dig ourselves out of a hole. These are the situations we can't afford to have.
You got to do the little things right, Clinton. You can't speed on pit road. You can't get in accidents. You can't do all these things with this new chase format. And the hole that he is in right now, he's just kind of throwing dirt on himself right here with the speeding penalty today.
There is Briscoe, 33rd in the standings, 178 points out of first.
And it's tough to be in that situation, right? While you look over and all 3 of your teamates are right at the top of the board.
And he's been fast. He's had speed at every race we've been to.
Well, the only reason he didn't start up front with his teammates, Clint, is because he had to go out so early in qualifying. And that as that track gets better and better in qualifying, the speeds pick up. So that's that compounding problem that you have when you have a bad finish. Then you have to go out early in qualifying, and it just makes it worse.
That hole gets deeper.
But he's got a fast car. I mean, he's going to get himself back in a position to where he can get back on the lead lap, but it's going to take all day.
And it also puts you in situations on a restart or whatever the case may be where you can get into something again that wasn't necessarily your doing.
One bright spot to his season. He finished second at Atlanta, but at Daytona crashed 36th. At Coda, transaxle 37th. Phoenix crashed 37th. And here we are. He is one lap down, but he is the fourth car one lap down. So not really in position to get the free pass. He's got work to do.
Yeah, and right now, with all the lap traffic in front of Denny Hamlin, you're gonna constantly just keep chasing that because they're gonna keep putting cars a lap down.
Also, don't complaining his car has too much fuel.
Hamlin with a good sized pack of traffic ahead. We've been green since the start, and a lot of those drivers that made long runs on that first set of tires, as you pointed out, once the leaders started pitting, they were losing time, and now quite a number of them are in danger of going a lap down.
And the thing right now, I think that as we look at Austin Cindric, the one thing that's going to happen is they're going to get to that lap traffic, but Austin Cindric has done a great job today. That obviously didn't qualify. None of these cars qualified very well, and they're all making their way forward.
Well, and we're starting to see some Fords making some progress. At the beginning of the race on the left side of our board, we only saw, what, 1 or 2 Fords on the left side. You see a lot of them now, so you can't turn your back on a good organization, a good team. We covered that in the pre-race with Roger Penske, and you're not going to keep those cars down.
Green since the start with 26 cars on the lead.
Stat. While this is going on, the NASCAR Mexico Series race, I believe, is green.
Include amazing benefits.
So, let's take a look at that real quick. We're at the Super Ovalo Potosino. Here we go. La Potosina 200. What's this like? Looks like it's a non-competitive pit stop. Max Gutierrez is the current leader, ahead of Alex de Alba, Ruben Garcia Jr., and a couple drivers I don't know. Bell's been able to catch back up to Larson and Gibbs. Hamlin's been able to is working through the lap traffic. Oh, here comes Get Bell to the inside of Larson. Takes third. One of the cars that it's in front of Hamlin is McDowell. That's a car that pit late, so I don't think Hamlin will get past him.
You gotta love coming to a race that has both Blaney
Bell
and
by
Elvis
Gibbs, too.
impersonators. Wow. Second place, Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs.
What,
Denny
he's
Hamlin in front
storming his
of
way
them.
back.
JGR.
Hamlin's not that far away.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, a couple things that I've noticed here. The 54 is not as good through traffic as the 11 car is. It's really held him up a lot more than Denny Hamlin. And the benefit of having those fresher tires, I know it's only 1 lap, 2 laps for Christopher Bell.
Chase Elliott's up to 9th ahead of Ryan Blaney.
Than these guys that stayed out those 1 or 2 laps longer than he did.
You're right, but I do think it's kind of the slinky.
Larson
effect.
up
He's
to
just
Gibbs
kind
now.
of
Can he complete the
paying back
pass?
what he lost and then
It is.
staying out.
But when you have fresher tires like
And
Bell does
yes,
right
he
now,
will.
it
Larson
just
up
makes you
E3.
have that little bit of turn advantage, little bit of grip advantage to be able to navigate when you're in this heavy traffic a little bit better than the other cars.
Which, to your point, is obviously different than the first time around. I mean, now you're mired in traffic spread out with the green flag stop there all over the racetrack. So you're going to be in traffic a lot more. You need a maneuverable race car. Looking in that shot, you saw Gibbs get tight behind the 5 car, got really tight in the wake of that. That's the things that you have to be careful of. You got to have a maneuverable car, as Kevin talks about all the time on a track like this. That way you can get out of their wake.
But think about when you were leading these races and running up front, and then you'd catch the back of the field, and all of a sudden that guy'd be locked down in your line, and you weren't versatile. This is really when you get to see who's got the most versatile car that can maneuver around, ride close to cars, and get creative with the line. And that blue car right there, that HenryCars.com Chevrolet of Kyle Larson.
He's one of them.
He's one of those guys that can just be creative in traffic, and that keeps him in so many races, even like yesterday when he doesn't have the best car.
Looking at him from the Ford Racing Cam on
Larson
board,
get by the lap
hometowner
Gregson.
Noah Gregson. Larson's last 7 races here include 3 wins and 2 second-place finishes. You call that the smart money bet.
Yeah, and exactly what we're talking about. See, as in the wake of that car, how much throttle off time Gregson has right here. We're following and listen to his throttle. A lot of throttle off time. Tells me that car's pretty tight.
Oh, Bell's about to pick the pass.
You know, guys, we've been talking about the Toyota.
Switch to the leader.
I want to focus
No,
on one of the
you're going to miss the
Ford
lead
drivers, Ryan
change.
Priest is 60. He has been picking them up over these last few laps. His lap times have been really good. But looking at his data, he's really good through the middle of the corner. He picks the throttle back up. He has to play with it a little bit, but he's picking it up a lot earlier than most of the other guys at the front of the pack.
All right, that tells me the car's probably turning a little bit better, and he's getting to the
Pass
throttle.
for 6th
enabling
place.
him
Here
to
comes
drive
firing to
through
the
the
inside
corner
of
and
Tyler
throttle a
Reddick.
little bit.
Priest likes this
Passes
place.
for
He
6th.
finished top 10 in both races here last year, and they allowed us to sit in on today's pre-race meeting.
Qualifying went pretty well. I think for when we went out, we got the pole for a few spots there, and I think we got a fast car, we got a great driver, we got a great pit crew, right? And as long as the crew chief makes the right calls and doesn't mess it up and listen to the engineer. Come on, Brent. No, Brent. Word for today is going to be execute. Like I said, we execute, we come home with a win, all right? On 3, guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Execute!
Now for P7. Still between Priest and Reddick.
There's Ryan
They're side by
Priest in
side.
8th.
Oh, here comes Bell to the inside of Hamlin for the lead.
Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell.
Go
for
side
the
by
lead.
side. They got Nemechek up high. Bell holding the inside. Can he clear? Off of 4. No. Yes, barely. But Reddick's gonna have the run. Hamlin's gonna have the run back on the high side. Lap car still. I think that's Nemechek still.
He's
Yep.
got Nemechek right in the wake of him.
And if the side-by-side continues, this could bring Larson back into it.
Look at the
I
momentum
think Bell
on the
got a
inside.
little
Here comes
loose
Denny Hamlin
or
back to
tight
the
or
point.
something off of the turn.
And that's just
Loses
the
the
difference
lead.
in how those lap cars got timed out right there. But think how many times we've seen these two teams stay out longer to be able to have that tire advantage, give up 3 or 4 spots, and then make it back up on the long run.
And this is why, as a leader, you're looking at Nemechek, just pick a line. He ran the bottom of 1 and 2, and then the top of 3 and 4. That's hard to be able to navigate around him. But he's also fending for a position.
Bell throwing right to the inside again. Wow, right to the inside. Hamlin's running middle. They got 2 wide in front of him.
What a mess.
Look how hard he's
Oh
racing
man,
to
they're
stay
still
on the lead
side by
lap
side
behind
on the
Nemechek.
next stretch.
Riley Herbst moves over. Hometowner there.
Kyle
35.
Busch going a lap
Nemechek
down.
Up top.
Oh man,
And
2011
Busch has
holding
just
it.
gone a lap down. Whoa, that's close.
They still have 2 wide ahead of him with Nemechek and Herbst.
Nemechek's pushing
Hamlin
really
leads at
hard.
the line.
Look at the lead right behind him.
All of them want control.
That's gonna bring
of the
Larson
race as
into
a
it if they
leader,
keep up
and
for long
the
enough,
2 cars
which
in
is
front
good
of
for
them
me.
don't want to be a lap down. And if
to
you
enjoy.
you want to be that lucky dog. So Kyle Busch is hoping right now that these leaders stay side by side and he doesn't have to, you know, be a lap down when this all ends.
Did you see that 20-car hunting that white line? I mean, hugging it all the way around the corner. That's
perfect at Atlanta.
These cars.
Larson coming closer.
But there's a
Can
lot
Bell
of
clear this time? Off of 4. Yes, he
just
does.
a little bit.
Got a lot of traffic in front of him. I don't know if they'll make him tight.
Throttle like we were talking about around that white line. It just rips that car.
Now there's Hamlin. I mean Larson.
Now watch Nemechek give him fits. All right, I'm going to go to the outside. Mirror driving, but that's what you got to do to keep him behind you.
And that's what happens.
Stay on the lead lap. Larson now with Hamlin.
Trying to stay on the tail.
He side drafted him. Ooh, good. Larson stayed with him. Goes on inside. But looks like the fight was a little loose running that inside lane.
Well, they're all going to be tight when you get in traffic like this, and I think it's just a matter of being able to find that spot. But Hamlin and Gibbs have definitely had the. Hamlin really
Larson's
just
going to try and go
later
high.
in traffic, but looks like the 5 and the 20 are able
got
to
the
maneuver,
better
and that
exit
goes right back to
off
being
of 2.
creative and versatile in traffic.
Looking back from Denny Hamlin's Toyota Racing Cam.
Larson running that inside again. Clear for second place.
Lift, crack out of the throttle. That's because Nemechek was in his outside. He wasn't.
Thanks to Nemechek for being an absolute menace. Come on.
Right now, that 5 car's flying, Clint.
I told
Got
you.
him.
Well, we knew this would be the big test of where Hendrick Motorsports and Kyle Larson were, but right now they've got that thing dialed in, Mike.
And with 7 to go, Tyler Reddick has dropped almost out of stage point contention. What's up there, Larry?
Well, Bell paid dividends by waiting to pit. Reddick is paying the price now for being the first to pit. He's starting to really, the tires are starting to really go away.
He wasn't the best on that first run on the long run either. Had speed at the beginning, but fell off towards the end. I think it's the same thing is happening here, but 2 dirt racers. Kevin, tell me about this Gen 7 car. And as soon as we went to this car in these 1.5 miles, it really lit them up, right? Woke these racetracks up for us as a product of NASCAR. And how does that play into these 2 dirt racers' hands? It's always guys that you talk about that can maneuver around and get creative behind the wheel. And you don't look much further than those 2 dirt racers, Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson.
Well, I think the creativity in this car is important because of the aero effects that happen when you follow a car directly.
Kyle Larson, William Byron going for 5th. Looks like on
right behind another car. So
on
you
Wallace.
have to go somewhere else on the racetrack to be able to find some clean air, high, low, timing of traffic, and just that creativity that those dirt guys have just makes them great.
Ross Chastain continuing to move up. There's the Kubota Cam on board his 180-mile-an-hour tractor.
A lot of tractors out there getting revved up. Crops in the ground.
Blaney going by Reddick for 9th. The free fall continues.
Ryan Blaney's been one of the best Fords today.
Holy, 22 one cars in the lead lap.
His spotter Tim Fedewa, longtime spotter, Busch Series competitor before that. Tim Fedewa's dad, Butch, was a Michigan Hall of Famer.
Busch Fedewa?
300 features. He was a superstar in the state of Michigan as a racer and was a second-generation driver himself. Passed away recently. Our condolences to the Fedewa family.
Pretty much every week, it seems, Clint, especially when we get into the race and long runs, that this 12 car is just a class of the Ford field. And today he's the leading Ford. Well, he's the second Ford right now, but behind Ryan Priest. But
all weekend long he has been. You're right. I'm on the same page. I mean, it's what he's able to do behind the wheel is just different.
For third, Ty Gibbs up to Denny Hamlin.
Ty Gibbs has ran up to the back bumper of that 11 car. Took off really good on this run, but has definitely struggled with the second half.
That's a good run. Hold it.
On this set of tires.
It's just not rolling the center at all. That's what
Ty Gibbs to the inside for third. Side by side, entering turn 3. Sails it to the inside. Diamonds the corner. Coming off of 4.
But the problem is when it's
and
too tight, you can't
clear.
run the bottom and you're slow down there, and then you move up to the top, and that thing will get tight as you get to the early middle part of the corner, so you can't carry the speed in the corner to keep the car rotating. So it'll hurt you in 2 different spots here a lot of times if it's too tight.
Final lap, stage 1. One of these drivers is going to end up third. Christopher Bell out in front of Kyle Larson by 1.2 seconds. Here's the race for third. As they come to the green and white checkers, Bell
wins stage one. Larson second. Denny Hamlin third. Ty Gibbs fourth. Bubba Wallace in 5th. Byron 6th. Whoa! Priest 7th. Chase Elliott 8th. Ryan Blaney 9th. Tyler Reddick in 10th. We're at about the NASCAR Mexico race right now. I'm hearing there was a massive wreck at the end of the NASCAR Mexico Truck Series race at Potosino. I gotta see this. Apparently the top 4 wrecked in the 5th place one.
Reinicia nuestra carrera. Va por la parte interior. Bob Espinosa perseguido por Carlos David Novelo. Se rezaga Valeria Aranda. No encuentra el espacio necesario para meterse al menos en la tercera plaza que está ocupando ahora Everardo Fonseca. Quien se introdujo fue Sebastián Rodríguez, el joven piloto guanajuatense. Se va a presentar la bandera blanca. Última vuelta, señoras y señores. 3 lado al lado.
3 wide to the last to turn 1 and 2. Oh, there go. Now they're gonna. Oh my God. Well, now they're bouncing around each other.
Allí está por la parte interior, por la parte están arrebatando la posibilidad de la victoria.
Now they're shooting front forward. Now they're bouncing off each other on opposite sides. They try to go 4 wide. Oh, they all 2 of them wrecked. 5th place sails on the inside of the win. That's wow.
Fonseca. Everardo con la camioneta número 94.
Lord.
End of stage 1. Bell, Larson, Hamlin, Gibbs, Wallace, the first 5. Jamie?
Well, Mike, Kyle Larson's pit crew has been together for 4 years, but just 1 year with Kyle. And I talked to crew chief Cliff Daniels about that and what he enjoys about this particular team. He said it's their attitude. It's how they respond no matter what happens here on pit road. So as they get ready to come down pit road and pit their driver, let's meet the 5 crew.
Brandon Harder, Bueller. This is my 19th year at Hendrick.
Mike Moss, rear tire changer. 2023 Lamar Pit Crew champion.
Eric Ludwig, Jackman, 2025 Cup Championship last year.
Jafar Hall, front tire changer. I used to be a truck driver.
Alan Stallings, tire carrier. Want to shout out
niece and nephew, Easton and Ridley, happy birthday.
2024 champions, or 2025 champions, rather, of the Cup Series.
Always fun to hear all the stories from where the pit crew guys came from, whether it's athlete, truck driver. You just never know. So a lot of great stories down there.
I agree. All right, this will be the second trip to pit road today for a set of Goodyears and a fill-up with Sunoco race fuel with zero carbon bioethanol.
Now, this is one when we talked about William Byron. Keep an eye on him on this. Didn't get a choice on his pits because of inspection.
Regan.
Well, it's been a very smooth start to the day for Bubba Wallace. Tight the first run of the race. Still to the tight side on that 23 car right now. Said he felt like his right front is gone. Needs more front turn, but doesn't want the rear to slide. Chase Elliott, the opposite problem is as he's moved up 7 spots, he's trying to protect against the right rear. Doesn't want to wear it out. Jamie?
Kyle Larson, 3-time winner here. Not concerned about right rear grip until the very end of that run. Car is good. Meanwhile, the 20 of Christopher Bell wanted an adjustment, freed up just a bit, taking quite a bit of time on that left rear. We'll check the tires here, guys.
Bell, Larson,
like after the first
Hamlin,
stop.
Wallace, Elliott, Byron, Gibbs, Priest, Reddick, Blaney are top 10.
Road. You mentioned William Byron, who came in 5th, came out 6th.
No, he
Without
came in
having
6th.
a chance to pick
came
his
out
pit
6th.
stall based on his qualifying. There's Bell and Larson leading them off pit road at the end of stage 1.
Oh, Hamlin and Gibbs speeding.
Other two HMS drivers, William Byron, Chase Elliott, all in the top 8. At the end of that stage, Elliott had a great pit stop. I was impressed that Byron didn't lose anything. Clint mentioned him being in a tough pit stall today. So Hendrick Motorsports answering the question of who's going to be able to compete with Toyotas.
And when we talk about the Toyotas and who's been strong, I mean, Christopher Bell, he's backing it all up. That car has been strong all afternoon long.
Yeah, Bell looked like he was a little bit off that first run. When we saw Denny take the lead from him, kind of questioned, you know, the speed he had in practice. But Adam Stevens, great call, staying out just a little bit longer. And we saw that pay off towards the end of the stage, able to get the stage 1. Bell has the car to beat, but I'm telling you, Kyle Larson, I think if he can get out front, it can be tough to pass.
It's going to be fun to see how things play out in stage number 2. And for that, let's send it back up to the guys in the booth. Take it away, Mike.
Thank you, Josh. Now, Christopher Bell just had the second fastest stop of the year. Otherwise, for Joe Gibbs Racing, it all just went away. Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs, too fast entering in section number 1. Here is Denny's reaction to the news.
Oh, boy.
Not at all what you need on a track like this. You do not want to lose that pit.
Well,
the track position.
He knows how important that track position is, but I think when you see him put his hand up right there.
On a track.
Christopher Bell just had the second stop of the year. Otherwise, for Joe Gibbs Racing, it all just went away. Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs, too fast entering in section number 1. Here is Denny's reaction to the news.
This exasperation.
Not at all what you need.
To that, the 4th Gibbs car, Chase Briscoe, had one wheel that did not get tight. He had to stop in Gibbs' box further down pit lane and get it tightened. So that's 3 out of the 4 Gibbs cars having difficulty on this trip to pit road.
And he's already had a speeding penalty as well. So, you know, you got 3 of the 4 Gibbs cars that have had trouble on pit road to put them back in the pack.
So there's row 2, Wallace and Elliott behind Bell and Larson. Then Byron and Priest, with Blaney and Reddick, Hocevar and Smith the top 10 as they approach the Echo Park Automotive restart zone for stage 2.
Start to see some
Here we
new
go.
faces.
Green,
You
green,
take those
green.
2 components out of the Gibbs cars now. And just like you said, Chase Elliott, and there's a slew of Fords slowly but surely moving back up through the field here.
Well, it always happens.
Gibbs
Glenn.
and,
They always
sorry,
figure it
not
out.
Gibbs.
Always
Bell
figure out
and
how to
Larson,
make
the
these
front
cars
2
better. You
now.
see Kyle Larson up the racetrack
Head
trying to
through
block Bubba Wallace
1 and 2.
to keep
Let's
from
get them
getting on
merged side by
his
side, or
right
if one
quarter
clears
panel.
the
Keeps
other.
himself right beside Christopher Bell down the back straight.
Hendrick cars line up on the inside. Elliott sending it 3 wide on the inside, with Byron in the middle and Bubba Wallace to the outside. Larson cuts down on the inside from the outside, trying to cross over Bell.
Whoa! Big lift here.
Come on, Larson. 3 wide still behind them between the 9, the 24, and the 23.
But you see Kyle Larson able to just barely
Larson sending it into 4, 3. Oh, hold it. Nope, not holding it.
So strong through the middle of the corner, really throughout the whole run, but right now on fresh tires.
Aggressive side draft still. Chase Elliott clear to 3rd.
Was out front, but on the bottom of the racetrack, Chase Elliott pops out for 3rd from that battle.
And I mean, obviously Larson knows how extremely important it is to try to get that track position. As you see them,
and Larson
side draft games,
got more clear in that turn. With Bell's, as I said, his middle of the turn is super good. That's what's keeping him in contention here.
Down and cross over Christopher Bell, so Bell's going to have to be aggressive to fend Kyle Larson off right here.
And if they're not careful, Chase Elliott will try to snooker both of them with the way these 2 cars are fighting each other. William Byron now up to 4th.
Elliott right there. Boy, the guard has changed. You take those 2 Toyotas out of this thing now. Hendrick is all of a sudden here. The clean air. Here they come.
Not as good of an exit for Larson that time. Still keeping the side draft going, though.
As they're still side by side for the lead.
Here comes the 9. 2011. Oh. You're getting aggressive. Chase Elliott diamonding the inside. It'll be 3 wide for the lead off of a 2.
Chase Elliott out of nowhere. He says, if you guys are going to screw
oh, they're still 3 wide.
I'm just going to drive by and go lead this thing myself.
Look at this, guys.
Come on.
Two Chevys and
the 24 is coming too.
Another Hendrick car into play.
Look at this run.
Shoot it to the apron. What is he gonna do? Oh, he's gonna push Larson through.
That's exactly.
Whoa!
Suddenly, Christopher Bell.
Larson the leader. Oh, Elliott's gonna clear for second.
And that's my teammate. That's what they want. They want to put But if they can keep him back in traffic, that's going to make it that much harder for him to do what he needs to do and not just control this race.
Tyler Reddick joins
Byron
the party.
slips up, is a little loose, gonna lose third, and fall back to fifth behind Tyler Reddick.
Seems to have a problem on the long runs, but his short runs have been really good.
Short run is definitely fast and running high and making
It's Elliott,
on the outside.
and now it's Belkman back on his outside. You know that 20 is super fast.
Fantastic racing. What a cool racetrack.
Well, Chase Elliott led for several seconds there. And had he made it to the line, it would have been the first lap he had ever led here in this 7th generation car.
Well, he's been quiet.
I gotta rewatch that later. That was awesome.
He hasn't made any noise whatsoever, but that's the way that this chase format works, is gather the points on your bad days, put a day together, grab some stage points and a good finish here, and that's going to keep him at the front of the field. So when they have runs like this, they've already put themselves in a position by minimizing the damage on the mediocre days.
Well, look at the manufacturer leaderboard now. We started the day with 4 Toyotas in front, and now the Chevys have roared to the front, and the Fords are not far behind. 17 down.
Byron sending it back in on Reddick as they come out at 2. Oh my God.
Born from bootleggers, built by rule breakers. We don't ask permission. We don't seek approval. We just are. The most relentless, unpretentious athletes on the planet. Chasing glory at 200 miles per hour. Defiantly unapologetic. Authentically NASCAR.
24 sends it in. It's gonna clear for 4th again.
Four parks. One vacation that changes
Hamlin
everything.
working through the field. He's just past Kyle Busch, although I think Busch is a lap down.
Box includes your choice of classic roast beef or crispy chicken, and now you can also get the big
Hamlin
crispy
P19,
fish sandwich.
Gibbs
So get your choice of
P21.
meat and 3 sides, all for just $7.99.
Arby's, we have the meats.
The Busch Guide, cold and smooth survival skills.
My watch is broken.
You could tell time by measuring the sun's distance from the horizon. Looks like happy hour. Head for the mountains.
Brandon Coley, Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
What did you call Harper? Oh, we actually sold the Twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Very lucrative.
Oasis Breeze Tan and Spa.
The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
I'm a Denny's Super Slam with our Slammin' Meal deal starting at $5.99, all under $10 and available all day and all night. Pancakes for dinner, burger for breakfast.
Blaney is in 8th.
Enjoy our Slammin' Meal
Austin
deals.
Cindric
available
is
all
actually
day
at the
and all
7th,
night.
which surprised me.
Lean on me. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance, the attention, the celebrity, the bragging rights, the bravado. Because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
If you're missing football, here's the answer. The United Football League returns. New season of Real Pro Football. Don't miss kickoff weekend, March 27th to 29th on Fox and ESPN.
Larson pulling away now. Chase Elliott, though, I think is battling.
Bell, and as we went to break, we mentioned a group of Fords that have fought their way into the top 10. Cindric, Blaney, Priest, Busher, and Zane Smith all right together. And Austin Cindric in that white number 2 started way deep in the field in 31st position.
Kind of like Atlanta when he went from last to first in stage 1.
About all those cars yesterday in practice, but typical Penske fashion, they figured out how to make them better, and Austin Cindric's been able to drive his way continuously forward as this race has gone on. So has a really good car, and as expected, Blaney in contention right there, not up for the lead, but right there inside the top 10.
Regan?
Well, Mike Tyler Reddick running in the 5th position right now, up 3 spots from where he most recently restarted, but something to keep an eye on with this 45 car as the runs go on. It gets too tight for him. He is right now trying to manage the front tires, trying to save them. Just recently told the team and crew chief Billy Scott, I'm just going to save it for the rest of this run as long as I can. Jamie?
One driver on the move forward is William Byron. He's up 4 positions since the start of this race, but happy so far. They unloaded in the ballpark yesterday. Rudy Hugel, his crew chief, told me they just wanted to be a little bit better mid-run, and they're certainly working on that. William Byron just came on the radio and just said once he exits the corner, the car's just leaning too much on those tires, trying to save him. So much tire talk, per usual, Mike.
Thanks, Jamie. There's Byron, and right behind him, 2 laps down, or 3 laps down now, Justin Allgaier, who is in the 48th this week as Alex Bowman continues to recover from vertigo issues that he first experienced at COTA, where he had to get out of the car. Jeff Andrews says that Bowman's recovery continues, but he still has some lingering issues with vertigo, and we certainly hope that he's back in the car soon. Andrews earlier had said that the team does not feel that those symptoms are concussion related, and we look forward to Alex Bowman's return as soon as he's able.
Well, Chase Elliott lost a lot of ground. It's to the point where now Elliott's a whole second now behind Christopher Bell.
See Allgaier go by. William Byron right there obviously came to pit road and got some work done on that car to be able to put himself in a position to
pitting,
try to
so
pick up some
pit
speed.
stops have started.
3 laps down, though, it's going to be a long day. You're going to have a hard time getting any of those laps back because of the fact there's so many cars a lap down.
Can you do something if you're Jeff Andrews and company on the Hendrick camp? Can you do something with that car now that you know he's down and out? Unfortunately, you're 3 laps down. Can we try something, Larry, with air pressure or something on that car that we can learn to win this race with my other 3 horses?
Well, I could learn to either win this race, but remember, this will be one of the tracks we have to come back to in the chase. A lot of these tracks are out right now, so there's a lot of things you can learn for a lot of different reasons.
And that may have been just what they did when they pitted Allgaier 8 laps ago. He went 2 laps down earlier due to speeding penalties on pit road. Kyle Larson out in front of Christopher Bell by 0.4 of a second. Chase Elliott, William Byron fill out the front 4. 3 of the front 4 Hendrick Chevys on what's been a good week for Kyle Larson thus far.
William Byron by Chase Elliott for 3rd. Bell closing back in, I think. 3/10. Hamlin up to 14th.
Gross.
Jesse, you remember Danny?
Hey. Hey.
Nice fit, bro. Thanks. Here we go. How are you doing that?
Four parks. One vacation that changes everything. Universal Orlando Resort. Maybe Bell just biding his time, waiting for the right chance to, I don't know.
He's not getting close enough where he would have failed a pass and got caught in dirty air. That would usually be within 0.2. He's just outside of that range. Byron closing the gap to the lead. He's now within 1.8. He was when he was battling for the Elliott. He was, I think, 2.5 seconds back.
Laps complete in stage 2 out of 85. Kyle Larson is the race leader from Christopher Bell and William Byron. Here's the Cheddar's onboard cam for Kyle Busch. Now he's gone a lap down. He's running in 25th, but today he tied Kevin Harvick's record for the most Cup Series starts at Las Vegas with 29.
He's going to break that one, Mike.
Race leader Kyle Larson lapping at just over 31 seconds. Here's his radio.
How's your car? What do you need? Just a little bit. Like, I don't have enough grip here at all. I think just from those first handful of laps.
From those first handful of laps,
Bell's starting to fade. 0.8.
Well, a lot of times it just depends on which end of the run you want. So
I think he ran.
Well, it might also be getting held up by lap traffic.
Laps, I didn't really pick up exactly
the
what
delta between Byron and Bell is starting to go down.
They were 2 and 3 wide, really leaning on the car
seconds
a lot.
right now.
It's probably wore the tire off and wore them out.
And I think the ideal way to do it is to just run what you think is a good, solid lap. But when you're racing somebody like that, it makes the car tight, and then you're diving back over, doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Now the Gibbs cars restarted in the trunk, not including Christopher Bell. On the restart, Denny Hamlin has picked up 8. He is currently in 13th. Ty Gibbs in 16th. He's picked up 7 spots after having to restart in the rear due to speeding penalties.
So we know Denny Hamlin's got a fast car, but now he's mad. Same thing with Ty Gibbs. Mad at yourself. You let your team down. Now you want to show them that you can drive this thing back up there and put yourself in contention, because they both know that they have cars that are capable of winning this race.
P13, Gibbs P16.
And make good adjustments,
so they're trucking their way back, but they can't really afford any more mistakes.
And those
we're almost at the halfway point of the race.
That you're just having to have restarts in the back. You're having to pass all the cars. You can't work on your car in the front of the pack, so you wind up a run behind of being able to make the changes on your car. So it's
well, nothing's going to come easy the rest of the day.
No.
You know, guys, we went back racing with 77 to go in this stage. Splitting it is about 6 or 7 laps from now, around lap 125. But I think based on stage 1, we're going to start seeing them hit pit road here in the next couple of laps.
Well, look up, Larry.
Hamlin on Kozlowski. That's for 12.
Trimble onboard camera there as Hamlin goes by. That's for 12th place. Larry, when one driver has a speeding penalty, that's probably on the driver. But when 3 drivers on one team have the same penalty in the same
Byron
place, that's more
is
than
pitting.
coincidence.
Well, the fly in the ointment is that first segment as we got more green flag pit stops, including 24. It's one of the shorter segments, only 89 feet, Mike.
Byron, Reddick,
and Reddick, and
Blaney, here they come.
Won't see Blaney pitting.
And we saw this strategy from Reddick in the last stage, as you see Larson getting ready
Reddick,
to make his way
Logano,
to pit
Gibbs,
road, but it
Chastain
kinda
as well.
Reddick having to run longer, but it looks like a whole bunch of them are going to come early this time.
Larson pits the next lap.
And Bell to pit road. Chase Elliott as well. So the first 4 cars are in. Jamie.
40 laps there on that run. Kyle Larson Larson, you heard that radio, worst run yet, lacking grip overall. He'll be happy to get these 4 fresh tires. Meanwhile, Christopher Bell in the 20 team says same thing. He's lacking overall grip. It's the worst it's been, and it's basically all over the racetrack. So they made an air pressure adjustment, 4 tires here, and get that fresh tear off on the windshield.
So the first 7 drivers on track and more came in this time. Regan?
Well, Mike, you see the 9-car Chase Elliott pulling out of the pits right now. Continues to build a little bit too free for him, but he did tell crew chief Alan Gustafson right before he pitted that he felt like he found something with that 9 car that was better. Alan confirmed it. He saw it on the computer and said it does look much better.
Jones, Smith pit.
Green flag stops. The first 7 drivers still on track. Now some of them begin to cycle back to the pit lane.
Yeah, and you see Blaney going to run this one long. It worked out really well for Bell last time as he got towards the end of that run. So Blaney trying to make something happen, doing a little bit different strategy than everybody else.
So down through Riley Herbst, who got the free pass at the end of
back
stage
up to Bell.
1.
Not
those first
Larson.
7 cars have not been to the pit lane.
Larson was quite a ways ahead.
So as the ones that pitted, though,
Larson and Bell and Bubba and Busher,
right
Priest,
there
and
where
Chase
they were.
Elliott
Larson
pit on
obviously
the same
beat
lap.
Byron out on that short pit, and Bell as well.
Riley Herbst just pit.
The one benefit of running long right here, if we go enough laps and the caution comes, even those that pitted under green, they'll come back and get 4 more tires, so we'll make up a lot of track position.
Well, sometimes you just got to do something different than everybody else, and I think that Blaney was a 7th or 8th place car, so doing something a little bit outside of the box of everybody else and trying to put yourself on better tires at the end, as you hear him tell him on the radio to pit this time. So he's going to have 3 or 4 more laps, newer tires when he comes back out of the pits. But at 2 seconds a lap, that's 6 to 8 seconds that you gave up staying out there. So see if the juice is worth the squeeze when we get to the end of this stage.
Josh Berry and Todd Gilliland, too fast entering pit road.
Berry
in section 1, which is what caught everybody else today. Gilliland in section 7.
Well, that's an interesting. You say that Berry was the last car on the lead lap, and I was watching the battle for that last car and the 1 lap down with him and Briscoe. Berry just handed it to him.
Regan.
Well, you see the 12 car Ryan Blaney, last week's winner, pitting right now. They've been all over the place today. It's been loose at times. It's been tight at times, so much so to where Ryan said at one point, I don't really know what to tell you. This most recent run, though, the rear grip, the biggest issue on the 12.
That will draw Suarez to pit road as well. Jamie?
Denny Hamlin had to drive through the field after that pit road speeding penalty. He just said, not bad here. We're actually a little bit tight, but that's because he was in traffic that run. 4 tires, air pressure for Denny.
So the only car on the lead lap who has not stopped is the new race leader, Brad Keselowski. That's Brad.
Got about 1 more lap here before these tires come here again.
That's his radio, your leader, top of the screen.
Hit.
Yeah, and a lot of times, sometimes the theory is on this, you might get lucky. And I think in order to get that big jump in track position for where Brad is running and where they were, is to hope that you get lucky with a caution or something. But
well, don't forget where we're at. Been a lot of dreams won and lost downtown in Las Vegas.
That's right.
More than 1/3 of Brad Keselowski's 36 Cup Series wins have come on 1.5-mile tracks like Las Vegas.
Yeah, and I think it's just so much different now with the way that you have to drive the cars and the car itself. It's definitely the big problem with this one. We got to fix Saturday, Mike. We have to qualify better in order to give themselves a chance to win these races.
Brad right up at the head end of pit road. Again, he's the last car on the lead lap to make this stop under green. That'll cycle the lead back to Kyle Larson.
Yeah, and he's just taking control of this race, Mike. He was able to beat Bell, get that track position, and put himself into the lead, and he has kept it, and now he has full control of this race.
35 to go in stage 2 in a race that has
Also
only
a 2.6 second gap.
Byron
Byron pursuing Bell just 0.3 back.
They'll tell you who you are.
What you can't do.
Where you don't belong.
But with the right people at your side, you write your own story.
You don't wait for success. You chase it. Sharper, tougher, faster, with every lap.
And when you give everything you've got, you don't just win. You inspire what comes next.
Bro, look at this. Did you see that? Should we tell him? So bad. Oh my gosh. That's not funny. Stop.
Do not listen to that.
Thank you, man.
Our experience plans include amazing benefits like Netflix, free Dash Pass by DoorDash, and a bunch more. Oh yeah, and a 5-year price guarantee. So you keep saving. Save on a big scale. Switch.
Next week, NASCAR action heads to Darlington for a triple-header weekend. Coverage kicks off Friday with Truck Series practice and qualifying at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on FS2.
136 laps complete. Kyle Larson, the leader over Christopher Bell. We're going to have a look at Justin Allgaier's car. I believe he may have gotten up into the outside wall in turn 4. Was slow coming off the corner, but continues apace. Nope, now he's coming to pit road. Is he?
I think he's
definitely
so
off the
far,
pace,
so
letting
far
him
off
go.
the pace, pitting early like he did, and now he's on the
It's
tail
sad
end
to
of
see
his
with that
run,
40,
and
with that
everybody else
48.
Here's a look at it.
is on fresh tires.
Whoa! He didn't hit the wall, but
Damn near
he
close.
didn't miss it by a thickness of a poker chip either.
he had a wake-up call.
And we saw that yesterday in practice. That car got loose on him, but that's the same scenario right past the center of the corner, and the way that wind is blowing, it definitely affects the way that car will handle up there. So we've got a little radio.
Make sure everything's good before you pick it up. Are you all good, or do you need to come? I'm okay. Copy that, copy that. Okay, you're in the back here. 5-3, we're good, guys.
And I know Justin has a lot of experience, but this is the part of the process that's really difficult with these cars, is filling out where that grip level is. And when you're running high, you're running low, doing all these things for the first time on this style of racetrack this year, it takes time to find out where that edge is, and he's definitely looking for it.
Oh, I think he found it.
Yeah.
So on the green flag pit cycle, here's Larson, who emerges up at the top. Most of the leaders stopped at lap 119 to 121. Blaney ran long to 126, Hocevar 127, and Kozlowski longest of all. But in Brad's case, that's put him back to 17th place. And Chase Elliott was the big loser in that cycle. He was 4th when the cycle started, but their stop was about 5 seconds too long with trouble on the left side. So Elliott emerges in 7th.
This is 3 spots.
Well, as we look at Christopher Bell and William Byron right here, pit road has just been havoc today, but I don't think that's abnormal. This is always a place where we see speeding penalties. We see cars sliding through the pit boxes. There's a green flag pit stops create a lot of tension. We've seen it happen under green and yellow, but when you have those green flag cycles like that, there's just so many places to make a mistake, but you can't beat yourself. I'd rather give up a second getting onto pit road or a half a second down pit road. I know you don't want to, but it's better than getting a speeding penalty on
24 is trying to catch back up, running that high lane.
Rounds of green flag pit stops, so teams knew to expect this coming in, that they were going to be busy on pit road. Kyle Larson, your leader, by 1.5 seconds.
Hello? Whoa. Mama Gorgon 85 lives here? Yep, that's my mom. The absolute legend who went from gaming on her phone to ruthless online streaming slayer with no mercy for any living thing is your mom?
Hey guys, apples with peanut butter?
How is this possible?
With AT&T Wireless and Home Internet.
Hey, text me if you need anything.
Level up your connection with AT&T Wireless and Home Internet, now available across the nation.
No, she's so nice in real life.
All right, so you got the memo. Looking good.
Brian, there seemed to be a lot of tension in the turns. What happened?
Yeah, well, when it gets really hot and you're cool...
Every turn matters.
But yeah, I mean, when it gets that hot...
Every turn
Brian,
matters.
I get that, but can you take us through the last turn?
like he said, every turn matters.
If you want to turn data into decisions, then make every turn matter with Trimble. Confidence at every turn.
You guys, Wendy's has new Biggie.
Whoa, hold on a minute. Look at the margin.
So now you can decide how biggie you want to go, which is kind of beautiful.
Like Bell and Byron are cutting in on it. Bell led by 6/10 ahead of Byron, but now Bell's within a second. A few laps ago it was 2 seconds.
You've seen it on your phone. Now, feel it in real life. The noise hits harder. The speed feels borderline illegal. And the roar of the engine shakes your insides. This is Bristol, a place where you can be free, filled with mayhem and full send moments. It's NASCAR, April 10th through the 12th at Bristol Motor Speedway. The Food City 500 triple header race weekend. Grab your vintage NASCAR gear and gather your crew because trust us, this one hits different in person.
It's Bristol, baby!
The Fox Nation Spring Sale, a time for new beginnings and new journeys.
I took an oath to defend Israel from her enemies.
Fox Nation is the home of our...
Kyle Larson, the leader. That lead down to 0.8 of a second over Christopher Bell, as you see from the aerial. Now, drivers moving up. Remember, Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs started from the back, or restarted from the back for segment 2. And big gains. Hamlin is going to score stage points. He's come from 21st now up to 8th. Ty Gibbs from 23rd up to 11th.
Okay, Hamlin, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8th.
Carson Hocevar hoped for a
11th. Or, what the? No, what the fuck? I hit the wrong thing and now my... There we go.
Back there at the rear spoiler. But Hocevar finds himself in 15th at this moment after restarting 10th.
Got his cowboy hat on there. Looking good, Clint.
Tyler Reddick, 5th and wanting more before the end of stage 2.
Well, that's what we heard him talking about earlier, trying to save those front tires, and we've seen him fall off at the first 2 cycles on tires as the run went. So they know their weakness is that long run, as you see Kyle Busch going underneath.
Bell within half a
They're
second.
going to race hard here. That's right in front of the leaders. And all these
Bell's
cars
long
right
run
here are
speed.
racing hard to stay on
Catching
the
back up.
lead lap.
Well, Chastain is the last car on the lead lap, and Kyle Busch is the last car 1 lap down, and here comes Larson.
Yeah, and that's 2 different races. You don't want to go
Here
2
comes
laps
Bell.
down, and Ross Chastain doesn't want to go 1 lap down, so it's definitely affected
It's
the
coming
the
hard.
car, and that's allowed Christopher Bell to creep right in on him.
Look how much that slowed the leader down to Larson with those 2 cars going through 3 and 4 side by side. Had to roll them up.
There's a
This
car
is
on
the
the
exact
eye
same thing
side
that happened earlier
that
in the race to
Chastain
Denny
can't.
Hamlin. These guys
Yeah, they're
don't
going
wanna
around
go
Kyle
lap down,
Busch,
so
putting him
they
a second
wind up
lap down.
racing really hard, and that puts you
Too
in a
wide in
position
front of
where you
Larson.
wind up
That'll
with the
hurt his
barrels
momentum.
under your
Here
car.
comes
And
Bell.
then you wind up using the tires more, and that allows the second place
Coming
guy.
high side
And
now.
then it's going to allow the third
Larson gonna
place
try and
guy
sneak
to
middle.
cycle in
Chastain
here,
holding
but
the bottom.
Larson's just going to try to end this mess going through the middle.
He's still going to
Ross gonna cut him off. Whoa! Kyle Busch cut him off too. So Larson's gonna side by side with Ross.
Trying to make those cars as wide as possible.
There's Denny Hamlin making his march back up to the front slowly but surely. He will get there.
And he's actually got there pretty quick. Clint.
Seventh,
it's
trying to
really
go
been
for 7th.
one run on tires to be able to put himself in a position back inside the top 10. They're racing. He's basically taken over 7th right there. So that 11 car is fast.
How many freaking commercials?
Coming to 12 laps to go.
Maybe this is the
in
downside of
stage
having
2
all
in Las
full
Vegas.
screen, but you know what? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Over 250 years ago, we didn't like the taxes, so we dumped the tea. Now with the Ram Declaration of Deals, we're pledging our...
Oh, here it comes Byron to the inside of Bell for a second. Oh, can he make the pass? Yes, clear. Larson is struggling in the, well, he can't really pass Kyle Busch, and that's letting Byron close back in.
When I saw this.
Still in the box. It's like the exact same one my mom wore.
This whole time, it was right there on eBay.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay.
Was crossing over at Larson back. At 24 is coming. I see it approaching.
With 109 laps to go, closing in on the end of stage 2. William Byron has joined him at the front. Byron, the new second-place car.
Ooh.
He saw opportunity.
Here he comes. Here he
wide
comes.
just
Here he
ahead.
comes.
Up now looking for the lead. Jamie.
Kyle
Larson has now led more laps than he has all season long.
Oh, across. Wow! Oh, to the inside! There we go! Byron leads at the line. First lap led of the race, and he's clear for the lead. Woo!
What was that about opportunity? It knocked, and he opened.
Strike when you can.
Busch about got in the wall on the outside.
Yes.
But man, that's how you do it. Get them both.
And there's Bell.
Busch gave Larson fits right there. Couldn't get around. Still hasn't got around him, by the way, and opened the door up. And look, the 20 car is now looking into the middle.
Yeah, and you know, I think Busch actually barely touched the wall right there, but they made a little bit of contact, and for whatever reason, well, we think that it's because obviously Kyle doesn't want to go 2 laps down, Kyle Busch that is, but it was not making Kyle Larson happy. I'm sure he's not too pleased with a race
Person's
going 2
by.
laps down like that.
He's going to hold up
Kyle
Bell.
Busch has got to be fried because coming in here in the last 6 races here, 5 of them ended up in a top 4 finish for Kyle Busch, and here he is now 2 laps down.
Joseph on pit road.
And we believe he did get up and into the wall here.
Ooh. Yeah, he scraped that wall.
Stuff go flying. He's definitely gotten a wall, and that's exactly what Byron needed.
Carson Hocevar, who had got back up into the top 15, had a flat tire and comes to pit road early here.
Oh, man. 4 laps to go on this stage. That's not what you want to see. He was actually making his way forward. He was up to
Hamilton's the
13th or
5th?
14th position,
What?
but going to take him out of it for the rest of the day.
That worked out perfect for William Byron, Kevin. I mean, he was able to get around Christopher Bell for second, and then it marched right in while Larson was having trouble with Busch. And just, I'll go ahead and take the lead, too.
Well, here's Kyle Busch's radio on what happened.
Go tell the 5. Never mind.
Wait, Bell
I think he
cleared
was wanting to
Busch.
say, tell the 5 I'm sorry, but, well, it ain't worth saying.
18 cars in the lead lap right now.
I think that's what he said, Kevin.
Yeah, well, it didn't come out that way. Yeah.
No, it didn't. And as we were listening to that, Carson Hocevar speeding on pit road.
I can tell you this, if the 5 would ever talk, which he doesn't, that's what he'd have said too. It'd have had something like that.
Well, that's the hard part about Kyle Larson is he doesn't really ever get frustrated. It almost becomes just a different game for him when you start banging into each other or crossing each other over or trying to make a slide
frustrated
jump.
when you're trying to pass somebody 2 laps down, they bounce off the wall.
I would be.
Give you
I would
lead
be,
up.
and I was never quiet about it.
All right, coming to the last lap of stage 2.
William Byron led only 2 laps this season coming in here to Las Vegas, but now he's been out in front for the last 6 circuits.
Kevin, I feel like we've
going by
let our
Todd
viewers
Gillen,
down.
who's now
We
in
told
last
them that
place.
Toyotas were going to dominate this day, and
what's all this we stuff?
Oh, he helped me too. He was on board with this, weren't you?
Yeah.
But they keep beating themselves is the point.
They beat themselves, but we knew that the Chevrolets would get to a point where they figured it out. We just didn't know when.
And here he comes. The Chevrolets have figured it out, at least for now. Off of the last turn. Byron wins stage 2. Larson second. Bell third. Bubba Wallace fourth. Denny Hamlin will take 5th.
Wallace Hamlin, Denny Hamlin.
6th for Reddick. 7th is Buscher. 8th, Reese. 9th, Elliott. And 10th to Austin Cindric.
William Byron is your stage. question. When 3 of your 4 drivers have penalties in the same section, is that on the driver or is that on the data?
Well, I truly believe it's on the driver, and I'd love to hear Kevin and Clint expand on it because they've experienced it on pit road. But you have 14 segments on pit road. Segment 2 through segment like 13, they range anywhere from like 125 feet to 142 feet. But that first section coming in is only 89 feet, and the last one leaving is only 58 feet. So there's a big disparity between coming in, leaving, and everything in between, Clint.
I like the disparity and everything you talk about, but Kevin, get him. That's a crew chief first driver right here.
Well, this is they're all going to be set really close, but this is a difficult pit road. When it has a little bit of curve in it on both ends, so you have to run faster in the curves than you do on the straightaway. So what happens right at the end of that timing line where you think the curve ends, that's where you have to go back down on the speed. And as short as that zone is and as close as the speeds are set, it's just really easy to run it just a hair too far, and then you're over.
Well, here's old Clint's opinion. I think when you have 3 or 4 drivers in the same organization with the same problem in the same section, the intel's been a little bit off. That's what I would lean on.
I would agree with that a little bit, but we've had a lot of other teams in that section as well today.
Oh, it's problematic.
Yeah.
But something's up with the Gibbs camp in particular.
Somebody's misfigured something. Ty Gibbs said on the radio, he said, look, I'm sure I was below my number, but oh well.
Hold my gun as the driver.
All right. Let's pause this discussion and go to Regan for pit stops.
Well, Mike, Tyler Reddick in the 45 car running in 6th place right now continues to be solid, but continues to fight the same thing. It just builds too tight as he runs. Been working on lines, trying to figure something out that'll work. His teammate
Mr. Rebel's got that prize pit stall. He came in 3rd. Can he come out first?
William Byron in the 24, a little bit tight in traffic. He doesn't want any adjustments. Said he needs to be better.
Not a great stop for Byron.
Kyle Larson, a little freer in traffic.
Larson's going to beat him off.
They're going back on the last adjustment that they made. Battle off pit road.
Oh.
Larson, Byron, Bell, Hamlin, Wallace, Reddick, Elliott, Busher, Smith, Priest.
Larson, Byron, Bell, Hamlin as they come off pit road. That's how close it was.
Your mental health is better. by him. So, Jamie, takeaways from what we saw in terms of those Hendrick cars, as well as a nice recovery from Denny Hamlin.
Oh, it has, and I think you've got the winner of the race in the top 4 right now. The one that I've got my eye on is Denny Hamlin. Had that speeding penalty earlier in the race, has been able to recover here. Driving up to the top 5, I think, was impressive. But we saw a lot of speed out of the 11 car in the initial start of the race. Everybody's had a chance now to work on their car. We're going to find out who has what.
Yeah, and as we look forward to stage number 3, we can expect things to get a lot more intense out there. So what are you predicting? What do you see out there?
Well, the restarts are going to be chaotic. We've seen the leader get stalled out, and the run that the guy in 3rd or 4th can get. I mean, the mile-and-a-half racing with this car over the last 3 or 4 years has just been epic. And Vegas, fun track. Clint and Kevin have talked about it. You're 3 or 4 wide. There's so many different grooves to run on this track. A lot of fun to watch.
All right, well, we're going to send it back to the boys in the booth, and I'm going to put Jamie to work down here on pit road, see if he can change a tire or something. Yeah, none of that. Take it away, Mike.
All right, Josh. All right, Toyota started 4 cars at the front of the field. They led a lot. Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin led. The Chevys came on. Larson and Byron have had turns at the front. Who do you like?
Well, I picked Bell right at the beginning of the day, and I have to ride this horse. I think Bell's going to get it done.
What you're saying is you're chickening out on changing.
I'm getting a little nervous about it.
Well, and that's the interesting part. I feel like the Toyotas have not gotten any better than what they were at the start of the day. And it seems like right now the Chevrolets have been able to make their cars better on every pit stop. So, yeah, the 5 and the 24 have been good. But I'm still sticking with my 11.
Well, Hendrick has dominated here at Las Vegas. Led the most laps in 5 of the last 6 here. Won 10 of the last 16 mid-race stages. And 5 of the last 10 races. And there are the winners.
You know, none of us said Byron, though. And I mean, he drove right by the 5.
Yeah, because he was stuck battling Kyle Busch. I think Larson and Bell are both faster than the 24.
But both of those guys are going to be looking in the rearview mirror. Kevin, I think you're all over it. Denny Hamlin come a long ways in a short amount of time.
If we get to the end of this race and you get Larson and Hamlin or Larson and Bell battling, if Byron's in a position to capitalize, we know he's the opportunist. He's going to be all in.
Yeah, but Kyle Larson, we saw how aggressive he was with Bell earlier, and that's the unique part about Larson. He'll make you think he's going to run right into you and then stop and give you one lane.
Well, most people would.
But that's, yeah, well, that's what happened with Bell earlier. I think Bell thought he was going to run into him, but that's something that Kyle Larson does really well. You'll think he's going to squeeze you, but he's still going to give you a lane, but he's going to make you think that there's nothing there.
You're going to see the volume turn up right here. I'm serious. These guys are going to go after it. I want clean air. You talked about Kyle. What's wrong with your car? Kyle said on his radio that the tires are going away because he pushed it too hard at the beginning.
All right, here they come to the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone for Stage 3. We've been caution-free today, except for the stage brakes.
All right,
Larson,
green again at Las Vegas.
We're green.
Larson a little bit ahead as they come to turn 1. 4 wide behind the leaders.
Sometimes that will give them a little bit of run, but it'll all come back together off of turn 2 as we see him 3 wide on the 3rd row.
Chase Elliott way up high. Now he has company. 3 abreast.
Bell kind of the inside, make it 3 wide for 2nd as Byron's by for 1st. Hamlin and Bell now battling for 2nd as Larson. Right behind Larson, we got Reddick, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace going for 5th place.
Wanted at all. Surprising.
Bell Larson.
Larson. Bell surprised him getting into turn 3 there, and he had to lift.
Reddick up for 5th.
Hamlin getting a good run on the high side. Bell might see if he pulls him back.
$19 cars on the lead lap now, including Ross Chastain, who got the free pass there at the end of stage 2.
So hard to
Hamlin
get clear,
clears
Hamlin is
as he's back in his pursuit for the lead.
20 car of Christopher Bell, and this is the car that has just gone through the whole field
in a short amount of time. I mean,
one
drove
stage.
Right back through him.
Went from like back of the lead lap to 5th over the 80 laps, 85 laps of stage 1.
All the way up to the back bumper of William Byron in a couple laps once he finally got clear of Christopher Bell.
Listen to that throttle.
Or 80 laps of stage 1.
That's impressive, Kevin. Talking about the 11 car, Denny Hamlin.
Hamlin running
Amazing
middle
how
of
fast
the track.
he drove right back through the field.
Yeah, and he's able to run that middle groove on both ends. You see him kind of peek out right
trying
there
to
to
block.
make Byron think about blocking, so that he ran that bottom lane, so that he had his
He
middle
went from the
lane
top
clear,
down
able
to the
turn
bottom.
down
Let's
off
see
the
if
exit
he
of-
runs
of
right from the
turn
middle
four
in the
right there.
corners
But those
next.
are the little cat and mouse games that you play. Kind of lean low down the back straightaway, make him look at his mirror, make him think you're going to dive low. That way you get yourself the lane that you want. Now he's down on the
A little
bottom
bit
of
of
the
a bobble
racetrack,
with
so
like
right back to
come
what we
off of
talked about
2.
earlier, that car
Byron's
has
still
to be
ahead.
versatile, and right now Denny Hamlin's is.
I mean, just hunts the bottom of the track, moves her all around anywhere he wants to go. He can drive right through the bumps. It'll answer the call for sure.
And that's the one thing I like about the way that these Gibbs cars ride the bumps. We saw in qualifying, they just seem to absorb the bumps better through turns 1 and 2. But having that mechanical grip is so important at this racetrack in order to get the balance right on your car.
Here's the Hornet's Nest back here. They were 3 wide in turns 3 and 4. Everybody jostling.
Briscoe, by the
position.
way, is the first
Right
car
now,
1
Chase
lap
Briscoe
down. Still has
is
not
in the
recovered
free pass
from
position
speeding in
19.
stage 1. There've been a lot of cars that were ahead of him that were a lap
That's
down.
Every week thing. See AJ Allmendinger leading his pack. That's 21st on back, and it's just your cars aren't handling as good. They don't have the speed that the cars up front, so you just wind up with more guys in that Hornet's Nest, and usually everybody's mad, so it becomes a little more unfriendly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Horsebar there a lap down after that speeding penalty. And all of this is a product of having green flag racing, except for the stage breaks. Fellows with, let's say, not the best strategy or not the best car, get a lap down, and it's like Briscoe, and it's just so hard to recover.
Very hard. It's taken him, we're talking about stage 3 with a great race car with his teammates that drove up through the field. He's been mired in traffic.
Come on, just hold him off. Can we keep it going for another 87 laps?
All day long. Very frustrating.
Kyle Busch right with him, 2 laps down. The first car 2 laps down, but where he's running on the racetrack, almost no hope of getting back to 1 lap down and getting the free pass unless they change their strategy.
I'm going to go back to the top view right there. You're looking at Byron. Did a great job of holding that 11 up, making him use those tires up, being in that wake, making him tight behind him. Now he's driving away from him.
Not yet. He's only lost a 10. Oh.
Byron Hamlin, Bell Larson, Elliott Reddick. The top.
Hamlin closing back in. Hamlin gets to the inside of Byron. And Hamlin starts to pull away. 0.4 seconds.
RFK team is going to throw back to Greg Biffle numbers on all 3 of their cars, and I've seen some great throwback wraps. Can't wait for Darlington.
Well, we're throwing it back to October here. Denny Hamlin in the lead, so he was the winner here when they came here the last time, and now he's right back to where he was and has passed the whole field.
Yeah,
to make it
stage
happen.
2, he came from 31st to 5th.
31st?
Big move today, sponsored by Pods. Here is the move that you saw during the break for the lead in our double box coverage. And here's a look at Denny Hamlin's day.
One whoops.
One speeding penalty.
Going for win 61 to untie
a whole lot of room to
for
the number
10
24.
from the
We
wins
have
list.
William Byron's radio.
No, buddy. Back to your rhythm. Build a gap to the 20. Keep racing off.
Well, folks, I couldn't understand much of that either, but I got the sentiment.
Yeah, well, I felt like the 11 drove in there trying to be right on the bumper to make sure that he didn't come down the racetrack and did everything he could to make that pass happen quickly right there. So William didn't like it, but that's the way it goes.
Jamie?
Denny Hamlin has now led the most laps of the day. And I talked to his crew chief, Chris Gale, this morning, and I asked him about setups compared to the fall. And he said, actually, the track temperature today is about exactly the same as it was in the fall. Denny Hamlin, of course, was your winner from the pole. But he said he didn't think that they had a race-winning car at the end of the race. But he said, Denny put on his cape and he willed that car to victory. He said the key with this veteran driver, give him a car that he's confident in, and he will overcome, and that's exactly what Denny Hamlin has been. Confident in this race car since they unloaded yesterday. Larry Mack.
Yeah, Jamie, I've been looking at the data comparing the 11 car Denny Hamlin to William Byron in the 24. Not a big difference in the throttle when they roll out, when they pick it back up. Neither one's using any brake. But the big difference, guys, Hamlin's not having to put near as much steering into that 11 car as the 24, which tells me that car's turning better than William Byron's.
And that's key here, to be able to get that balance right. But when you can go back to the partial throttle and have that car rotate through the middle of the corner and you don't have to have that wheel into it, then you don't have the snap. It's easier on the right rear tire. It's easier on the right front tire. So many benefits to being able to not have that wheel in the race car.
Tyler Reddick and Chris Buescher, who has been one of the best of the Fords today. They've kind of been mired in 7th through 12th place. But here's Buescher going after Reddick for 6th. Regan?
Yeah, and Mike, give some credit to Chris Buescher as well as crew chief Scott Graves, having a fantastic day right now as we see him trying to make that move to the outside. Been very pleased with the car. He's a little tight on the entry early on in the race. Very good over the bumps. Right now in the last pit stop, no changes on the 17. He's trying to get a career best finish for Las Vegas track here, and right now he's doing that.
I like Buescher. He's a grinder. No matter what they give him, he just grinds it out slowly but surely. He makes his way to the front.
And we hadn't said anything about him all day, and he just shows up and inside of the top 10. But you're exactly right, Mike. He is a grinder, and he's been around this sport for a long time. He's done a great job for a long time. There was a period a couple years ago where I was like, you know, they're going to start winning consistently, and in the last couple years just hasn't done that same thing. But regardless, he always winds up consistently somewhere around the top 10.
And I don't mind eating a little crow. As a matter of fact, I love it. I mean, these guys, these Fords, we didn't talk about them much at all, Kevin. Just didn't sell them in a pre-race, didn't think much of them, of what we saw in practice, but they're all grinding it out, doing what they do. I want to talk about RFK. His teammate, Ryan Preece, he was right up there in that first stage. So 2 of the 3 RFK cars being solid and have done so all day long, grinding it out.
Well, we've seen 11th, Kozlowski in 13th, and then Zane Smith, Austin Cindric right with just behind them, as you see on the bottom of the screen.
Zane Smith is another one. I've been watching him, and he got up as good as 7th at one time. Was right there in the picture of a restart. Just solid. That's what you have to do. Grind these tough weekends out. Keep grinding. Keep digging. And we need to go home and know where to work and how to improve.
Yeah, and you can't make any mistakes. They still don't have cars that are fast enough to go up there and win the race, but you never know, right? Like we've seen the Gibbs cars make mistakes on pit. Well, we've seen a lot of cars make mistakes on pit road with the speeding penalties and all the things that go with it. But if you don't make those mistakes, those are free passes for you and your team. So you got to be very pointed and dot the I's and cross the T's to not make any mistakes.
And you got to find a way to be good here, because these 1.5 mile tracks, what some people call cookie cutters, they predominate the circuit. And this race and the next 5 are all tracks that are going to be in the chase for the championship. So take stock right here. Take a big swing at it on this next stop. See if you can figure out how to be better here when we come back.
And that's a great point. And same thing with Phoenix last week, as we see Ty Gibbs going by Bubba Wallace there for 9th place. The other car that was at the back of the pack with a speeding penalty, he just hasn't quite made it back to the front as quickly as Denny Hamlin did. But still, I feel like that 54 car is pretty good, Clint.
Oh, they have been all weekend long. I'm going to tell you, though, it's going to come down to the last stop. Whoever, for the lead, that being said, there just hasn't been a lot of change. And when it heats up and ratchets up at the end, whoever comes out with that clean air and track position, they're going to be hard to handle. And you look down across the board, and the top handful of cars, maybe even back as far as the top 8 cars, are pretty close, lap time wise.
We're 34 laps into stage 3, 35 now, with 67 laps to go. Pit stops will be coming up under green again.
How fast could a stock car go?
Born from bootleggers, built by rule breakers. We don't ask permission. We don't seek approval. We just are. The most relentless, unpretentious athletes on the planet. Chasing glory at 200 miles per hour. Defiantly unapologetic. Authentically NASCAR.
When COPD tried to stop you, you kept going. Breztri, a 3-in-1 inhaler, better breathing starting within 5 minutes, and helps prevent flare-ups. Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur. Ask your doctor about Breztri.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America's asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all. So make it day to day to see the USA and see it in your Chevrolet.
The Sonic $6 All-American Smasher Meal tops the burger food chain. Get it hand-smashed and made to order, plus a side and medium drink for just $6. Great burger, even greater deal. Try the Sonic All-American Smasher Meal for $6 today.
Hello, Newgarden and a hungry pack battle for a win as the road to Indy continues at Barber. Sunday, March 29th on Fox. Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
You want fearless? Take a truck, sprint down the track, and get ready for a fight.
They're both in the wall!
63 laps to go in Las Vegas. Here's your aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Tried, tested, proven, legendary. 19 cars on the lead lap. Ross Chastain, the last of those 19. Chase Briscoe, the first car, 1 lap down. Denny Hamlin, the race leader now by 1.3 seconds over William Byron. Hamlin a couple of hundredths quicker each lap than the second place car over the last few. Well, what a moment it was here last fall when Denny Hamlin won the pole and won the race, and fan sentiment just turned right in his favor after a very emotional interview and statements when Hamlin climbed out of that car. Have a listen.
Definitely means a lot. Obviously, I want to say hi to my dad, family back at home, all the friends that came out there for Vegas, hoping we get 60, but I didn't think we were. Just put the pedal down those last 10 laps and made it happen.
I think that was the moment Denny Hamlin became a fan favorite, and even people who had previously booed him told me, you know, after I saw that, I wanted him to go and win that championship.
And there's a lot of things that happened to Denny Hamlin last year that were really hard for him to have to deal with. And, you know, I think that in the end, Denny Hamlin is one of the fiercest, hardest working competitors in that garage. And I think that when you win all those races and put yourself in a position
not on
to
the
keep
10th
winning,
place.
At some point, you know, you have to respect that. And he went out to be the villain, and I think everything that happened over the last couple years has really kind of calmed that down, and I think everybody sees how genuine those moments were and how much they meant to him.
Well, racing's certainly a family sport. It takes family to get you to the opportunity. We've covered it. Everybody's heard the Hamlin story. Is no different than a lot of them. They gave everything, sacrificed everything. Everything you've ever done in life was all in on this effort to get, you know, your dream to come true. And certainly the emotion showed that there when he won last year.
Blaney to pit road. The final pit stops.
Surrendering a top 10 spot.
And Blaney
for
misses his
road.
pit
Gonna
stall.
have to back it up.
Oh.
Overshooting the pit. Going to get fresh Goodyears and Sunoco race fuel, that Poet zero carbon bioethanol.
Well, and that's exactly what we've been talking about all day. You can't make mistakes on pit road. You know the pit boxes are slick. You know that the timing lines are short in the first section right there. And
Oh, wait. Hamlin not able to get around McDowell. Here comes Byron.
Mistake on pit road.
Larry, does this draw anybody else in?
I think it will, Mike, because...
Come on, to the inside. Go! Go! Woo! Nice, to the inside. Oh, can he hold it? Yes. Byron takes the lead.
Along with him, and I was listening to Kevin talk. He lifted big time off of 4.
Oh!
Around off of 4.
That's Zilic.
Zilic.
Connor Zilic, who's around.
Caution.
Yellow comes
And Blaney
out.
just got
I
screwed.
heard that Denny Hamlin lift off of 2 and a big push. I was like, well, that was kind of odd all by himself. Didn't take long, Byron around him.
But that's nowhere near
Cindric
the caution.
was on pit road, and he completes his stop. So was Cole Custer.
Yeah, you see the front of that car of Connor Zilic has damage on it right there. It's caved in, but that's going to put Blaney in a bad spot.
I think he's maybe, did he hit the wall or was somebody trying to pit in front of him? Seen that before.
Oh, he hit.
Hood's bowed.
Yeah, there's damage there to the front.
Guys, that may have worked out perfect for Cindric. I think he may have beat the leader down to the exit of pit road. He may have 4 fresh tires and may inherit the lead. We need to let the scoring reset.
Since he was on pit road at the moment of caution, the stop is legal. They can complete the stop. And if, as Larry points out, if everybody else on the lead lap pits now, he will cycle through to the lead. What happened here to Connor Zilic?
I think you can see him on the bottom down here, right behind. It looks like Ricky Stenhouse Jr. I think they were checking up, and he ran into the
Ran back of him and spun.
Yeah, I think Stenhouse was going to pit right there, don't you?
Yes, I do. As soon as he got... Yeah, for sure. Wasn't as bad as last year, but same thing. Green flag pit stop. They were checking up in front of him, and he didn't get the memo.
Well, that is the first caution for cause today. Not the stage breaks, but an incident on track. And here is Connor's radio.
Sorry, I didn't see his hand out the window. I didn't know he was pit. Yeah, I didn't get anything up here either.
Well, everybody's misfortune is somebody's good fortune, and in this case, it's Chase Briscoe. He has fought all day to overcome a speeding penalty back on the first stop of the day, and now, finally, with 55 laps to go, he'll get the free pass.
Well, he has a good race car, but that early penalty just put him so far behind with everything that happened and where he was in lap traffic, and hasn't been able to put himself in a spot to get that lucky dog until now. So he's going to put himself back on the lead lap, and he's going to go forward, because I don't think he has a winning car, but I think he has a car that's capable of finishing up towards that top 5. And that's what they need. They've their points pile is small.
Yes.
It does not have a lot in the kitty right now, and I think that they need to get a good finish out of this because they've got no stage points today. So it's put them a little bit further behind than what they had even started, but they have a way better car than the points that they have scored today and can at least minimize that damage with a solid finish.
All right, pit road will be open this time. Larry, will this get us into a window where we can run to the finish from here?
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. Remember, 60 to 64 laps, and we're going to go back racing with probably just around 50 or a little less to go. So this could be the final stop.
No mistakes, guys. We can't have a mistake on pit road. We've seen so many of these things get shaken up today. Speeding, loose wheel, roll a tire away. Can't have it happen right here if you're going to win this race.
Remember the 20 car, #1 pit stall, in on the pole with a fast pit crew as well.
Here they come, Regan.
Mike, and Tyler Reddick in the 45 car continues to have a good day, but they've just bounced around a little bit about getting it right where it needs to be. This most recent run noticeably tighter. He's asking for him to free it up, give him a little bit more turn for this next run. In the 9 car, and Chase Elliott has been fighting the right rear a little bit, but this last run said that he likes it the most that he has. He felt like it ended that run in a really good spot. Jamie?
William Byron in the red, white, and blue car, number 24, said, I want to turn better for the first 30 laps, but the last 20 laps, I need to be able to put the gas down easier. Denny Hamlin, meanwhile, he wants to be a little bit better on the long run.
Good stop for Hamlin.
He said, we're good on the
Oh, Bell wins the race off with his pit stall. Bell, Hamlin, Byron, Elliott, Busher, Gibbs, Reddick, Larson, Wallace, Keselowski.
His pick is back to the lead.
Christopher Bell wins the race off pit road from Denny Hamlin and William Byron.
Like a relentless weed, moderate to severe ulcerative colitis symptoms can keep coming back. Break away to what's possible with Tremfya. With
That's it.
Busher took 2 tires for whatever reason.
.52 laps to go. Christopher Bell back to the lead after a lightning fast pit stop, and they've had a bunch of them today. Let's meet the pit crew for number 20.
Darrell Edwards from Baltimore, Maryland. Jackman for the number 20 car. I played at High Point University basketball. Shout out to the Panthers.
Peyton Moore, Fueler, former linebacker at Kennesaw State University, and a special shout out to my superstar wife at home.
Will Cooper, tire carrier. I played football for Alabama and was on the 2017 national championship team.
Michael Hicks, rear tire changer, and I love a bowl of Frosted Flakes at night.
Blake Houston, front tire changer, former Catawba College baseball player.
Frosted Flakes are good anytime. Come on.
Look at this. Why do you try to qualify good on Saturday, Kevin? Exhibit A.
To be able to buy those boys some more frosted flakes.
A great stop and the #1 pit stall. Now, Larry, we talked about Austin Cindric possibly cycling through to inherit the lead, but that didn't happen. Why?
Yeah, he was on pit road. There's two ways you could stay on the lead lap. If you beat the leader to the end of pit road, if you're pitting beyond the start-finish line, which is where he's at. He's 3 boxes beyond the start-finish line. If he'd have been pitting before it, all he had to do is beat the leader to the start-finish line, but he did not beat him to the end of pit road, so he is a lap down. But he's one of many that took the wave around right there, including Ryan Blaney.
Cindric and Blaney took the wave around, so we'll restart with 20 cars on the lead lap. Chase Briscoe got the free pass. So 20 contenders here. It'll be 50 laps to go when they take the green with Bell and Hamlin out front.
Well, this is when they get wild.
That's right.
It's time, as here they come to the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone.
I'm not lifting for you.
We start with 50 to
2
go.
Toyotas leading 2 Chevrolets and Buescher's Ford. Here we go. Wallace to the top side, 3 wide for 7th.
Bell to the inside, Hamlin
right
in the middle.
At the front of the pack.
200 cars going for 3rd and 4th.
Car go up the racetrack.
Not clear.
Elliott gets to 3rd. Gibbs' car still battling it out. Hamlin and Bell. Buescher getting ready to get by Byron for P4.
Well, they've got a little bit of distance, but the first Hendrick car is Chase Elliott. We've seen Kyle Larson kind of have a little bit of issue
Hamlin
on
clears
pit road right
Gibbs.
there. He's making up a little bit of ground on the outside of Ty Gibbs, but Chase Elliott is the first Chevrolet there in 3rd.
And Chris Buescher moves up to 4th on the break.
Holding on with a 2-tire stop. Byron moving to the inside, trying to generate the run.
Able to give him a little bit more fit than that little battle there. Man, that Denny Hamlin, he never lifted. Both ends of the racetrack, stayed right in the middle of the racetrack. Had nothing for him, did he?
And that lap right there, you can see the back of that 20 bounce around as you see the 24 car of William Byron on the inside of Chris Buescher. They're going to have to get going, though. Try to put some pressure on Denny Hamlin to force him run harder than he wants to run, because they don't need to let him get out too far in the front so that he can save those tires.
Byron
we saw him get really tight at the end of that last run off of both corners and fall off really
Not
bad.
yet.
So
The
if
17
guys,
coming on strong late in the run, late in the race.
They can do, but you want to push that 11 car as hard as you can, because you know his weakness is at the tail end of the run, and this would be the longest run of the race when we took the green flag.
Hamlin's last lap was half a second faster.
Contact
than the
there.
cars from 5th on back.
More contact.
Well, that's good intel too, Mike. And if I'm
Got
Denny
the
Hamlin
spot.
and a spotter, I'm going to be able to slow that down.
Byron establishes himself in 4th with Buescher now 5th. Then Larson, Gibbs, and teammates Reddick and Wallace going at it for 8th place ahead of Keselowski.
Reddick ripping the high lane. Currently in 9th. I think actually lost the spot.
These guys
trying to get
are
it
all
back.
wide open, every one of them. Look at that 90s all the way down to 6th place.
Yeah, and when this place starts to shade over like that through 1 and 2, you're going to see the shadows right here as we start going through the corner from the billboards. That's when the speed starts to pick up. As that sun starts to set over to the west, those billboards start to bring that shade onto the straightaway, and that track temp starts to go down. That's when that end of the racetrack starts to get a little quicker. Not so much the case in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2 will definitely pick up speed.
Teammates Keselowski and Preece battle for position here. Now, at the end of these runs, cars had fallen off about 1.5 seconds from their fastest lap of the run. Right now, these cars are running within half a second of their fastest laps of the day.
RFK, I'm glad you said this right along with Keselowski right here, but that's all 3 of them in the top 10 Great effort out of RFK, especially later on. We've learned something through the course of this run. Kevin, I heard you talk about this. What do we need to do here? Let's keep grinding it out. We know that. No mistakes, but let's learn something. They have definitely figured something out.
Briscoe is up to 11th.
And so has Chase Briscoe. He was the free pass car, started last car on the lead lap on this restart. He's fought his way up to 11th already.
Well, he figured out we need to quit making mistakes. That's what they did. They've quit making mistakes, and now all of a sudden the speed's matching my teammates up front where they've been all day.
Well, if he doesn't go back up there and put this car in the top 5, James is going to be mad because he knows that they have a top 5 car, and I promise you that pressure that James puts on Chase to be able to get the most out of everything and not make mistakes, it will motivate Chase Briscoe to keep going forward. So he knows that the expectations are to be up there with his teammates.
It took him 172 laps to get back to the lead lap. It's taken him only about 12 laps to be knocking on the door of the top 10. Hometowner Noah Gragson on pit road for an unscheduled stop.
4 car.
51 laps a long time, Larry. We've seen those little signs of
top 5, 6, 7
those right
have
front
not
tires, those right rear tires.
Top 7 have not won a race yet this season. Here comes Ty Gibbs coming to the inside of Kyle Larson for 6.
Which run we're talking about, as you see Ty Gibbs go by Kyle Larson, but are we worried about the tire at all, or you just think they're going to take a dive like Hamlin did the last run?
Well, to your point, Kevin, this is going to be the longest run that we have run. Now, normally the tire wear gets a little better later on into a race, but yeah, I'm very nervous about it.
Well, I hate to say this.
I'm nervous too now because my crew chief's nervous.
And I'm glad you brought this up. I don't want to say this, and I didn't want to bring it up, but we haven't had one tire failure all weekend long from somebody being too greedy.
I'll tell you who's nervous. Anybody who's right in front of Chase Briscoe, because he is coming to the front.
Yeah, he's up 8 spots. Boy, Bubba used
got
it all
loose
there.
behind Bubba Wallace.
Gilliland on pit road, and Michael McDowell.
Gilliland and McDowell pit road.
Stops for 4 tires.
They had to, Mike. They had taken the wave around, so they were pretty much forced to have to pit under green.
Bubba Wallace, he's been quiet today, but he's had a great start to the season, running 9th right now, and scored a lot of points to start the season. See Chase Briscoe get that nice run off of turn 4 down into turn 1.
Not clear.
It's a lot. When he got that lucky dog,
now
this is one thing that's nice about being at the end of this race. When the leader were putting people down a lap down so quick, he only had to come. Well, he's up 10 spots, but that's half of the field on the lead lap.
Bubba Wallace coming under fire from Keselowski. Regan.
Well, Mike, just to update Bubba Wallace about 1 run ago, the same thing as his teammate Tyler Reddick. That car took a swing to the tight side. They have been in front of it most of the day and making it better, but about 2 runs ago, it just got too tight for him, and they've been battling that since.
Such
Pretty
a
weird to
finicky
pit road.
racetrack, and
Same
so
deal, probably.
Walking that razor's edge of too tight, too loose, and this racetrack will do that. It's just like we talked about turns 1 and 2 with the shadows, but any change in the temperature, the ambient temperature in that track temperature will make these cars swing in a direction, but these tires also lay down a lot of rubber, and when you get the track rubbered up from the top to the bottom, I mean, it can make the racetrack swing, and you go back out sometimes and you'll be like, hey Larry, did you change my car? Nope. Didn't change your car, Kevin. And it'll just change on its own.
Chase Elliott has caught Christopher Bell. This is for 2nd. This all happening about 1 second behind the leader, Denny Hamlin.
In tandem
3 Chevrolets in the top 10. Elliott, Byron, and Larson.
Car to that inside. Oh my God! What a great corner by Chase Elliott. Right to the quarter panel. Slide inside, drafting by, sensing into turn 3.
Quite as well as his teammate.
And screams past.
Obviously, some of these Hendrick cars as well.
His just seems to fall off earlier, and that 11 car, if it does the same thing that it did the last run, that 9's going to run him down, because we saw William Byron run down Denny Hamlin at the end of the run. So it's going to be a razor thin margin as to when that 11 car, if it does it again, if if it acts like it did on the previous run.
You look at that top 10, only one blue oval there, and that is Chris Buescher. We talked about how Blaney had been the class of the Fords last weekend. Ended up in victory lane here. Buescher,
Logano and Chastain. This is somewhere in the top 10.
Are the
top
first
20.
three Fords. Buescher 5th, Keselowski 11th, and Priest 12th.
Lower.
We talked about it.
Battle for 16th.
Run into each other last week and find yourself together complete. These guys are still together, Clint.
Get away from me, for crying out loud.
And you know,
All out the front here.
This 22 car, for several years, this was their racetrack. They were so dominant here, you know, 5 or 6 years ago, as before we went to this generation of car. But they've struggled all weekend. See Denny Hamlin still on the bottom of the racetrack there through 1 and 2, and that's pretty much been the preferred line, but we've seen him run the middle of the racetrack, and maybe that answers the question why he's not running the middle of the racetrack. That 34 car is running his middle lane, but we've seen throughout the day as the leader catches lap traffic, it really drags that second place.
Hamlin struggled in lap traffic on the last run
to work yourself through that traffic, and these guys will be a harder pass because remember, Mike, they just pitted.
Yes, they were just on pit road.
And there's another car coming off. There's Cody. What again?
So we're coming to 30 laps to go. Next time by, Larry?
Not sure what to make of trends today because we've only had 3 cautions, only 1 for incident. But the 8 races here at Las Vegas with the Gen 7 car, 2022 to 2025, average of the last caution, lap 240, which is about 3 laps away with 27 laps to go. We have had 2 overtimes, the spring race of 22, the spring race of 23.
Third place battle here. Byron
on the inside of Bell. Gets it.
And
no
Byron
crossover.
Completes the pass. Buescher looking on now. 3rd, 4th, 5th.
Looks to me like the same trend that we had the last run with William Byron starting to make his way forward as we get about halfway through, a little past halfway through this run.
So they're about a little more than 2 seconds behind the leader. Behind them, Ty Gibbs 3.5 back. Kyle Larson 4.3 back. Chase Briscoe, what a great recovery. He's picked up 10 spots since the restart. We've talked about what he's had to overcome today after having a speeding on the first green flag stop. But look at his Instagram and look in the mirror up to the upper left, right there. Do you see the flashing blue lights? He got stopped on the way to the racetrack. So he's had to overcome that as well.
Yeah, and the bad part about it at this point is with a car that fast and having that mistake, are just not scoring those stage points for him because he's so far buried in the points. And now you've got guys that you want to race with and contend with that have gotten stage points and going to get a decent finish. So you've really not made up anything.
So mid-race, we talked about 3 of the 4 Gibbs cars in trouble. Briscoe speeding on a loose wheel. Denny Hamlin speeding. Ty Gibbs speeding. Oh, they're in trouble. 3 of the 4. Now they're all in the top 8.
1.6.
What a rebound. How about
lap
Denny
traffic,
Hamlin's day from his radio remix?
Clear 1 back 3rd lane. Still clear. Still clear. 2 back 3rd lane. Still 2. Green checkered here. Nice work. Good job there. They're staying the 11 and the 54 both too fast entering section 1. Are we for sure a penalty? He's checking. My official did say we were speeding. Still up there barely. Facing you down the hill. You're clear, clear, clear. And line. Going to the bottom. Nice work.
And now, last fall's winner here has a 1.6 second lead on Chase Elliott and William Byron.
That's not what you want to see in front of you. Cody Ware.
1.4.
Really sideways, slowed him up. Larry, what do you got on?
Well, I go back to stage 1. Now, this was going to be a 50-lap run to the end, and we're halfway through it. 25 down, 25 to go. In the stage 1, the latter part, that's when that 11 started to fade. Now, have they made an adjustment to compensate for that? But that was his Achilles heel late in a long run.
Yeah, he got tight as well.
Well, now Chase Elliott.
1.2.
Maybe he's picking up some due to the leader getting into traffic.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe they turned
absolutely.
up the wick.
That's exactly what happened to Denny last time.
Yeah, and with Denny Hamlin's car,
He's
we
side by
think
side
it's
with
getting tied
Ware.
up off the corner and behind those cars in traffic. It's just going to take him longer, and it's going to be harder on those front tires. And you know, when you look at those lap times, we've given up over 0.3 of a second in 2 laps.
Being stuck side by side is going to hurt even more.
And these lap cars are not cutting him any slack either.
Okay, Cody Ware
definitely
got
raced him
past
pretty
Ware
hard right there to keep him held up.
Regan?
Well, Mike, think back to something also on the last pit stop that we talked about there. Chase Elliott at the end of that last run, which was roughly 40 laps, said that was the
0.2 faster again for Elliott.
All day long. He's been on the free side, but he's also been talking about how it's allowing him to ramp the bottom of the racetrack really well.
Next?
So something that we have to keep an eye on as this plays out.
0.2 quicker than Hamlin that last lap.
Denny's and you watch his throttle when he gets back to the gas. He's not being able to go to it. Womp, 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 up off the corner. That's telling me inside that race car he's tied up off.
Which is what you heard on the in-car camera last time. You just heard him, you know, just having to lift off the throttle, hoping that when he would give it those quick lifts, it would rotate.
And that only gets worse.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it right there, I mean, the 51 car is staying
So Hamlin
right
had a
with
better
him,
lap
so.
that last lap.
He had a good lap the last lap. So, but he has to have clean air. So the worst thing that he wants to see is somebody beside him, and he's got a car in front of him, which would explain why the 51 of Cody Ware right there can pull to the inside of Denny Hamlin.
Cody Ware with 20 lap pressure tires, even though he's several laps down. And Ty Dillon was also on pit road recently.
That slowed him down there too.
It slowed him down, but he's going to be able to work by. He's got to have clean air in order to not give up that time that he gave up.
Hamlin
I think he can keep pace with Chase Elliott if he stays in clean air. But we'll see what Chase Elliott can do with that traffic.
Hamlin now with about half a straightaway of clean air in front of him.
It might be easier for that Chevrolet to pass those other two Chevrolets. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, you look over and one of them is 3 laps down, the other one's 4 laps down. So
that's a second.
Probably make it easier on him. We're gonna.
Now, one of the quickest cars on the racetrack these last 4 or 5 laps has been Ty Gibbs.
Gibbs is in
and he's
sixth,
run down Chris
3.2
Buescher. Here
seconds
they battle for 5th.
behind the lead.
Yeah, and that's what we saw out of this car yesterday in practice, was really, really good long run speed. It's kind of been hit or miss today, but that's the hard part about this racetrack. Sometimes you drive in there, the thing's tight, and then the shadows start coming over onto the racetrack in turns 1 and 2, so you adjust, and then the track shifts. So you know, it's a confusing day from a team standpoint and from the driver's seat, but Ty's done a good job. Kept his head on all day, put himself in a position to work his way back forward, scored some stage points in the first stage, and is able to put himself in the 5th right here late in the running of this race with 17 laps to go.
And we're back to close to where we started the day with 3 Toyotas in the top 6, 2 Chevys, and Buescher's Ford.
Well, some of that's cleaning the messes up, right? But I mean, Buescher, we've talked about him earlier, and he is so impressive with just grinding these races out and doing it the hard way, and always quiet, always steady, no mistakes.
Buescher coming back on Gibbs.
Now let's go back to 17th.
Blaney and Chastain.
Chastain and Blaney. 15 seconds back of the leader, so about half a lap down. But battling hard here for 17th, because in this new chase format, every point, every position counts. No more win and you're in. You need consistent good finishes over 26 races. And if you can't
now
win,
back to
how do you make the most
1.2.
of the day?
Well, both of these cars I expected to run better today. And even though you're running for 17th, trying to get 16th is going to matter when that pile adds up at the end of 26 weeks, and we reset this because you need to be in the top 6. So you just, whew, that was close.
Using it all. Both. Which car?
Yeah,
the one about hit it before, and then the 12.
Both of these cars. Ross Chastain obviously has a great record here. Ryan Blaney has had some bad luck here, but last week's winner and typically a car we expect to race in the top 5. But neither one of these cars have performed up to what we expected today.
It's just been one of those races where if you get behind and mistakes made the difference, you can't make up any ground. There was no cautions that flipped the stages or anything weird like that. It went green flag stops and then right into the stage in.
It looks like everyone's going to finish the race too, which is a rarity.
You couldn't capitalize on anything today.
Now let's move to 7th place because Chase Briscoe's march to the front
passes
may have
Larson
stopped right here. He's got himself up to 7th place, but all of the cars ahead of him are lapping faster than the number 19 right now.
I mean, certainly a great rebound for Briscoe, but I agree with Kevin. I mean, the early mistakes and the stage, misses that they could have had, the coulda, woulda, shouldas with this 19 car. I mean, you might bust even right here. You're not going to gain any ground on those guys. You have to have those stages. You got to have a full, complete race, stages and the end, not just the end.
And the other thing that he hasn't been up front all day to know what his car was going to handle like in cleaner air. He's been in a mess for the whole race, and as we go towards the end of this run with 12 laps to go, new territory with the track position that he has now. So kind of a day that is missed from the 19 team with that early speeding penalty.
1.7 seconds is the gap.
You know, we've been talking about manufacturers. We always talk about Team Penske, but right now the top 3 Ford drivers are all RFK. Busher in 6th, Keselowski in 11th, who's been running long every green flag pit cycle, and Priest back there in 12th.
Good day for RFK, to be sure.
And Brad's done a good job today. I think that you talk about grinding it out, the chase format, all the things that kind of fall into Brad's wheelhouse and making his car better. You see that steady progression from where he started all to where he is currently there in 11th. So
this is the one you told me. He's got to get better at this, though. If you're going to run and contend for wins, you have to start better.
Yeah,
qualifying.
If you start 11th, you probably can start running towards the top 5. But
a valid point with him that you said earlier.
In 10th place, just in front of his windshield, that's Bubba Wallace. Is what's between Brad and a potential top 10 finish with 10 laps to go in Las Vegas.
And you see Bubba Wallace kind of up the racetrack right there. Just doesn't look like his car will get through the middle of the corner like it needs to with that partial throttle and that rotation. So Brad able to run him down here late in this run.
Been a solid day for Bubba Wallace, though. Actually back in 2nd points, back around Blaney after his win last weekend. So steady Eddie with this 23 team of Bubba Wallace.
Yeah, 9th and 10th, Reddick and Wallace with 23-11. Kevin, you called it right at the start of the weekend that Denny Hamlin was the man to beat here, that he had the car, he had the confidence, he had the win here last November, and was just poised to come back to victory.
Well, that's when he's got back in another
direction?
lap car.
Well,
That's
nothing's
down to
changed.
1.3
The tires
seconds.
the same. The racetrack temperatures are pretty much the same outside. His team hasn't changed.
Cars haven't changed.
The cars haven't changed. The Chevrolet cars have changed the body styles, but nothing has changed with
Wait,
the
is that
Toyota,
Ware again?
So
I want to look at that number right there, Kevin, because that's your number.
That's still Cody
60
Ware.
victories.
I thought
right this
he already
moment,
got past
you are
him.
10th on the NASCAR all-time win
Which
list.
means I think that the gap might have gone down just on its own.
By the time we get home, that may be
I don't know if I don't think Elliott will be able to catch him.
Going to be broken and
but
changed, and
he's
Denny
closing.
Hamlin's going to surpass that 60 by quite a margin, in my opinion, over
He'll
the
hit
next couple of
70.
years. Yeah, he's going to be mid 60s to 70 by the time he's done. So. But I thought he was going to be the guy to beat today, just with the way that they ran last year and how fast their car was, how well he qualified.
Hamlin lost a quarter of a second that last lap.
When you see the driver that confident, and he was confident again, not only after qualifying the interview, but on the pre-race show today, you know that they've got something that they're pretty happy to work with.
As we say that, he is definitely running into
They
trouble.
also,
I would like
he also had to get past
the
Connor
throttle
Zilich,
traces back up and keep an eye
but
on
the
them
gap's
and
now
doing-
a quarter of a second, is 3/4 of a
that
second.
he really struggled with at the end of the run in that first run, and this run is a little bit longer. So what happens with Denny Hamlin is he has to start pedaling that car up off the corner. And we heard Chase Elliott talk about his car being a little bit loose and being able to
Might have been that lap car might have been the last obstacle.
keep his car a little bit lower,
but
watch from the center to the exit of the corner. That's where he was having trouble at the end of last runs.
Last lap, Elliott was 33 hundredths quicker than
third.
Hamlin. 5 to go, 4 to go.
Last lap was he was just barely
Chase can pick the throttle up on both
4 to
ends
go,
and stay
7
in it
tenths.
where Hamlin has to play with it.
That's why I wanted to see those throttles and exactly what I
2/3.
picked up last time.
All right, don't engrave the trophy just yet.
2 lap cars up ahead.
Denny was able to match his lap time a little bit closer that lap, and as Chase, if he can keep that car positioned in front of Chase, that's going to make the front end of that 9 car get a little bit worse as he creeps in. But he's definitely better than the 11.
You see how he was
3 to
slow
go.
that
I
throttle
think
off of four?
Danny will be fine. I think
it's just bring it back.
It was
home,
only 1
though.
lap
Solid. Don't overdrive the corner. He missed the bottom there, Kevin.
Lap time's even this lap.
Watch this. He missed the bottom. See him still dancing with that throttle up there.
Oh yeah, that was a big mistake right there, and that's what you don't want to have right now. You want to just minimize those mistakes, and for me it looks like Denny Hamlin just needs to get that car to the white line more than anything, and that's the biggest thing that you can do is keep yourself in front of the 9. It looks like he's at the bottom as
2 to
well.
go. 0.52.
Elliott 2/10 quicker.
Half a
worst thing
second.
that Denny Hamlin can see right now is that lap car right in front of him.
Which is a Chevy.
That's been his nemesis all day, is lap traffic, and
Less
just
than a
the
half a
amount that it
second.
affects his car.
Hamlin just sent it right into the turn. Can he
That
get
car
past
won't be a
Allmendinger?
factor.
That might be the
Denny
defining.
Hamlin
Yes, he
off
does.
turn number
I think that's
4.
going to be good for
Here
Hamlin
comes
now.
to the white
Allmendinger
flag.
gets out of the
1
way,
lap to
but
go,
white
sponsored
flag.
by
Last
Credit
lap
One
at Las
Bank.
Vegas. It's a late charge
And
from
that
Chase
time,
Elliott,
Elliott
but it's
only
going
a
to come
couple
up
of
just
hundredths
short
quicker.
unless there's a major mistake on this lap.
It's a big rebound for Chase Elliott. If he can't get up and get this race won, that's a great day. Hard-fought effort out of the 9 car and Chase Elliott.
Well, he's been so quiet all year. And it put
Meanwhile,
himself right
Denny
there
Hamlin
in the
about to
points, and
untie
right now
and
he'd
make
be
him the
sitting
sole owner of 10th on the all-time win list. Going to be
Denny
career
Hamlin
win
rounds
number
off the corner.
61, back-to-back at this
61,
track. Denny Hamlin
asterisk.
wins the
Denny Hamlin
Pennzoil
wins
400 at
his
Las Vegas
61st
Motor
career
Speedway.
NASCAR Cup race and becomes the 5th driver.
Great job, T8. Make it, This is easy, huh?
5th driver to win a race in 20 different seasons. Joining Richard Petty, Bobby Allison, Dale Earnhardt, and Jeff Gordon, Hall of Famers all.
Wait,
This goes right back to yesterday.
what was the stat? Hold on.
By Credit One Bank.
Oh,
Joining Richard Petty, Bobby Allison, and becomes the 5th driver.
Great job, T8. Make it, This is easy, huh?
5th driver to win a race in 20 different seasons.
wow.
Joining Richard Petty, Bobby Allison,
That's
Dale
actually
Earnhart,
nuts.
and Jeff
His only
Gordon,
winless
Hall
season
of
was
Famers all.
2017
This goes right back to yesterday.
or 2018, one of those.
When he did
I
that
think it was
interview
2018.
after practice before qualifying, I've never heard Denny Hamlin that confident in an interview.
Hamlin first, Bell 4th, Gibbs 5th.
The Joe Gibbs, the team prayer at the end, giving thanks for the victory with the Yahoo crew. And Denny takes it all the way down to turn 1 to come around and salute the fans from there up the front straightaway. Last win for Joe Gibbs Racing was Talladega in October, 6 races ago, as they become the 3rd team to win this season.
That is quite the
Go
burnout.
here before we get to start finish line, Kevin. Got enough good years on it?
I don't think so.
He's going to melt them babies off of it.
Now that's a burnout.
That's a good one, isn't it? I think he's going to make it.
That is...
Want to know what's going on under that helmet, because so much has happened to Denny Hamlin in racing and in life since that victory here last fall.
So much, and I think that you're going to see that same emotion
We got
out
a
of Denny
Yahoo.
Hamlin right here.
As last fall, a popular win with the Las Vegas crowd.
Oh, we got Chastain Sport.
And
We've
former
got
teammates,
beef.
Suarez and Chastain talking it out on pit road. He said at the end of last season, I want to take some time. I'm not sure I want to do another season of this. And of course, he did, and he has captured the flag. Jamie.
And Denny Hamlin taking it all in. A lot of fans here in Las Vegas. First question, though, Denny. What you were able to accomplish today. You had the speeding penalty, 31st to first, and no time at all. And then you were able to hold off Chase Elliott, hard charging on the longest run we had of the day. How did you overcome and get back to victory lane today?
Being part of Joe Gibbs Racing and Toyota, that definitely helps the situation. But you know, over the last few races here, just had a dominant car, and you know, makes me look good when I can drive cars like this. But I got to thank the whole team, and they're the ones that made all this happen. And
there's the girls.
There's Molly and Taylor and Molly.
I know. Denny's family all here, and Denny, Mike just mentioned it, what you've been through personally with your family in this off season. That coming into Daytona, you said you weren't even sure that you were ready to get back behind the wheel. What did it take for you to get back behind the wheel and back here with your family winning?
I mean, I know it took a few weeks to feel like driving, and you know, over the last couple of weeks, I've definitely, you know, regained my love of it, and you know, got refocused, and you know, these are great opportunities for us, and you know, this is.
Tell mom to come on in, Jordan, baby boy.
Yeah, I mean, this is a family sport, and my family obviously had so much sacrifice to help me get here, and now that, you know, have Ronan, you know, generations of Hamlins following me, and it's great that mom gets to see this. I know dad's still, you know, saying that's my boy. Hell of a day.
Denny, it's a big moment, too, in the record books. You become the 10th winningest driver ever in this sport, surpassing our own Kevin Harvick. What do those records mean to you?
I mean, my name stands out, you know, amongst, those are legends of the sport, and I feel very fortunate to, you know, to be on the list. But, you know, those guys were far more talented than I have ever thought about being. I just work really hard. I still, to this day, you know, work really hard at my craft to try to continue to get better. And, you know, days like today certainly make me feel, you know, happy about, you know, where I'm at in the sport still, and what I can still do.
It's a family affair, no doubt, for Denny Hamlin, who wins at Las Vegas.
There's Jordan Fish. There's
what a happy family.
The baby boy.
And what a great story.
All right, that does it for today. Next week we have Darlington for all 3 series. What else? What other? What do we have? IMSA and Michelin Pilot Challenge at Sebring. 12 hours of Sebring. World of Outlaws late models at Magnolia Motor Speedway in Mississippi. World of Outlaws sprint cars at Lawton Speedway and Creek County. Let's see. High Limit at Central Arizona Raceway. NASCAR Brazil Series at the Circuito Panamericano, the Pirelli Testing Center in Brazil. for the, I guess, like kind of an exhibition race. Smart Tour at South Boston Speedway. Formula E at Madrid. MotoGP at Guyana in Brazil. And the NHRA Arizona Nationals at Firebird Motorsports Park. Thanks to everybody who showed up. Hope to see you next time. BowserJrXD signing off. Have a good one.